Fantastic damn conversation. I got to give a round of applause.
If at a national level you had propaganda, which instead of showing LGBT LGBTQ flag, degeneracy,
Sexy
girl
red.
bossing, shit like this, which is what you see everywhere. You had institutional family units instead.
Come on.
Right? And that was what you saw everywhere that you went. And that was where the social status was. At the top-down level, that would really help change people's psyches around the same way they were indoctrinated towards the degeneracy.
Listen, I'm on YouTube right now,
you can indoctrinate them out of
everybody go follow me on
That's how
YouTube.
we got a whole nation to smoke. And it's also how we got a whole nation to quit smoking.
Oh, that's
the
a
thing
good
is,
point.
like, there really are good prescriptions here. And the only thing I get from you...
Wait a minute.
Hang on.
We're talking about
Hang on. Almost done. Almost done. Yes, yes. That'll help with self-deletion of men. Yes. And it's one of the biggest contributing factors. Single motherhood, another huge contributing factor.
I have a fantastic conversation for you guys here today. And honestly, I cannot wait to go.
All right, what's good, YouTube? Listen, I had to start off real quick by clowning this dumb person that I've been going back and forth with on TikTok for the last day. Listen to this dumb comment that buddy from South Africa said. I can't even believe this. Shout out Mariah, by the way. Mariah is one of my favorite people to debate. She's very scared right now because she got beat pretty bad in that first showing. Listen, MZU19 from TikTok. Buddy said, controversial take. America can't play international sports like soccer, cricket, or rugby. Bro, what the hell is cricket? It's football season, dog. What are you talking about? All right? It is football and basketball season, and the World Series just wrapped up. What? Listen, all right, TikTok, if you guys want to talk to me, all right, follow me on YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm in this now so I can look at my chat, all right? I'll see you guys later. I don't have a link, all right? I don't know how to do all that, all right? Just go to YouTube and type in Real Offended on YouTube, and you'll see me. I'm live right now, all right? Bye. All right, what's good? Listen, man, MTR has no idea what he's talking about, bro. I like MTR, but listen, I wasn't even gonna watch this debate. Andrew Wilson versus Coach, I wasn't even gonna watch it until I came to this comment section. Look at this dumb comment section. CGA was waiting for the perfect time to plug his book. Where's the lead attorney? Burger King is complaining about the Whopper, but has no desire to change the recipe. The black community. Look at this dumb shit. The mediator should be fired. As soon as he started insulting Andrew personally, he lost the argument. He let his emotions take. I'm like, you know what? I've changed my mind. Men are the problem. All right, fine. You guys win, ladies. Ladies, you win. Men are the problem. All right, men are the problem. Let's go through this a little bit. I honestly don't even know how much it is I'm gonna watch because it was just so annoying listening to MTR's commentary. No offense, because I like MTR, but Buddy does not know what he's talking about. You can tell when certain conversations are just over the head of other people. You know what I mean?
Are saying in one corner we have.
My bad. Hold on. Let me get my headphones. All right.
An anti-marriage advocate, right? I believe he's agnostic or atheist. He goes by the name of Coach Greg Adams.
All right, please let me know if my sound is all right, because my sound has been terrible the last few weeks. So never mind, 2 viewers was the top. Oh, shout out Jonathan from Le Roux. All right, shout out Jonathan from Le Roux. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, now you can talk whatever you wanted to talk, all right? Whatever questions you wanted to ask me, go ahead and ask me in the chat, all right, while we're watching this. And maybe you can get some learning while we're doing this too.
Adams, and he's been doing content within the men-centric space now for probably about 10 years or something like that. Now, I haven't seen his content in a long time, and that's no disrespect to him, but the last time that I remember reviewing something of his had to be a live debate that he had. I think it was like Valuetainment. This had to be like 3-ish years ago, and he went head-to-head with Hafiz of the Roommates podcast. And it was a surprise debate.
What's good, the Organic Copper Collective? How you doing? How you doing? The sound is all good right now? I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Like, he walked in, didn't know that Hafeez was going to be there, and end up debating him on marriage. Hafeez at that time, I believe he was like 3 months married or something like that. So he was like gun-ho pro-marriage. Coach Greg Adams absolutely put the beats on him in classic fashion, just bringing out all of the realities of the family court system. You guys know the drill. Nevertheless, he is currently doing a debate with another debate titan by the name of Andrew Wilson. All right. Now, Andrew Wilson,
Well, Andrew Wilson used to be a debate titan until this past month, if we're being honest. I don't remember reality. If you listen to this, let me know in the comments. What did you say last week in the comments that was the moment that Andrew started going downhill? I don't know. There was something that happened in his life where everything started going downhill, but he's lost 2 debates in a row. I just posted about the other one last night. And this right here is just... It's just egregious. I honestly see what women are talking about now. Like, no BS. I know a lot of people thought I'm always going to be that dude who just doesn't want to talk about the issues of women and stuff. But now I think I'm turning the corner.
Gone over the channel a bunch of times.
Like, look at Jonathan in the chat, right? Look, Jonathan LaHoo. Like, think about him, right? Look at him, right? Over here harassing me because he can't beat me in a debate. Everybody's so mad because I got 9,000 debate victories on TikTok. All right, it's not my fault. You guys keep losing. Anyway.
In the past year, Christian conservative, super pro-marriage, and these brothers linked up to go head to head. Shout out to the Digital Social Hour podcast who hosted this debate. I took a look and I didn't see the content over there. I found it on Coach Greg Adams's channel. So I'll leave a link to the full debate. It was like over 2 hours and it was a lot of points within there. They began about an hour in to talk about the Black family, Black issues. So I wanted to go directly in that component of it and break it down from the different points, perspectives, and ideologies that they speak from. And they are very different. And some of these thoughts may surprise you. So let's get active on this one. Let's have some fun. And let me also say this. To get up and do a debate is a very difficult thing to do, right? So I want you guys to give much respect to both
not really.
combatants within this case.
It might be difficult for people like Jonathan in the chat or the other people that are constantly trolling me on TikTok. But for people like me and people like CGA, no, we do this in our sleep.
To be able to put your thoughts, your opinions, your ideologies out on Front Street, and also your platform, which is a component of your business, you know, it's not an easy thing to do. So much respect to the two for doing this and giving us a conversation to talk about. Let's get active on this one. Without further ado.
In order for your marriage to work, they have to be white, Christian.
They don't have to be white.
Make money.
No.
And then also probably live in a certain region.
If it's the case.
Now, what if that's not the case? Because in the United States, I don't know where you live, but, you know, in the caves
Then
and
we use
hills
the
of
apparatuses.
if you take the rest of the United States, they're highly not that. That is outside of those demographics.
And don't you want to
what if
change
they're-
that?
What if they're outside of that?
Don't
What
you
if they're
wanna-
not white
don't-
and Christian?
don't you wanna
What if
change
they're
that?
not Christian to make 100K? What do you suggest then?
Yeah, so here's what I would suggest. If it's the case that in the Black community, you have more divorces than in the white community, there's going to be contributing factors for why that is. I don't think that, like, Black people are just ontologically different than white people, do you? Do you just believe, like, that at their core they're just ontologically different, or do you think that they're the same? Because if that's the case, if we're equal people and equal people groups, then there must be some other social factors which are relating to this that increase the divorce rate in the Black community that doesn't exist yet in the white community.
When he says ontologically different, just think of like made differently, right? Think of nature versus nurture. What Andrew is proposing here is a unit Black.
We would specifically target those issues to prevent that from happening, right? We're going to do this
what is
across.
it?
We're going to do this across the board.
Okay, what would
for-
they be?
For the Black community, there's a bunch. One, you have a distinction in economic certitude. The second one is you got a massive abortion rate, which is super problematic. Another one is
If you are Black in the chat, try not to get triggered by this. All right, we're going somewhere. I promise.
you use matriarchal structures in the family home instead of patriarchal. Huge issue that you have. By the way, when it was Christian based, didn't happen. It was a patriarchal structure inside those Black homes. And boy, they didn't put up with shit not the case anymore. So you have multiple factors.
What the hell is Andrew even talking about? Right? Like, think about it. He's like, when black people used to have patriarchal, they didn't use it. What? How do you know?
Here, which need to be addressed. I agree with that. Nobody ever disagreed with that, though. What we're trying to do is look at the mitigation of risk. And even for the black community,
we handled that already.
If the black community moves in to these conventionally traditional churches, they still will have the same ecclesiastical authority, which will assist them in governing their marriage that white people would have, and it would still.
Think about it. If anybody is really a black person from America, his answer to the problems of black America is to insert the Christian church, as if black people don't already go to church at huge numbers, right?
Still assist with the mitigation of risk. What's the alternative? It's just degeneracy, right? The alternative is just like, well, just hump them and never get married. Well, what good does that do for blacks? What good does that do? It just leads to more abortion. It just leads to more degeneracy.
I have some ideas if you really are trying to figure out how to do good stuff for blacks. I mean, and it's not Christianity, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you really want to get into it, Andrew, just call me. I have some ideas.
It leads to high crime rates, and the single motherhood's out of control. So, like, what are you doing to prevent any of that? Nothing. Nothing. Tell me.
When he says the single mother rate is out of control, I actually just posted this on my Facebook. The weird rabbit called "That's utilize you enough."
What?
Okay, thank you. You said things that people have known for
Right. I'm sorry, MTR, bro, but you are starting to get unbearable these days, bro, for real.
for the past 45 years.
You
But I
didn't answer the
appreciate that.
question.
Hold on for a second. Thank you for contributing to a common conversation that people know, but you offer no other solution. That's great. Now, here's the problem. Here's a problem with this. It's an if scenario. That would be great if we can go back to this. It would be great if we can go back and look at and say that blacks, when they were in the 40s and 50s, they had more stable relationships and marriages than even white folks. Here's the issue.
Okay.
Why stop at the 40s? Let's talk about 1863.
Okay.
Your tradition seems to always hit this point of 1940s where you shine this light of traditionalism that you've never lived in, that seems to be in a snapshot of something that you don't even know about. Then when I fast
You're not
forward
even
20
saying anything, dude.
again, you're not listening.
You're not even saying anything, dude? Whew.
When I fast forward to 1970, when it falls all apart with no fault divorce, based on what I've been arguing, what happens? All that traditionalism falls apart. Why don't we take it further? Why don't we take it back to bride prices? I mean, how far in tradition you're going to go? You're only going to bang your head around 1940 and 50 because you watched a couple of movies and I Love Lucy episodes?
Okay.
That's not tradition.
Okay.
That was a snapshot in history that you're trying to achieve again.
So-
take it back further. There's
Okay.
no marriages in the
Fine.
black community.
Let's say.
Okay. This point confused me a little bit.
I know it confused you because you're an. Listen, MTR, I like you, bro. You're not that bright. Because this is his point for those of us who maybe are a little slow. All right? When you look at where we are today, 2025, where were we before we were in 2025? We were in 2024. I know it sounds like a dumb argument, but follow me here, okay? So before the 2020s, we were in the 2010s, right? And then before that, the 2000s. What makes you think that us being in 2025, that we are going to be able to skip 2024, all the way, skip the 2010s, skip the 2000s, your plan for us to fix the quote unquote black community is to go backwards, not 1 year or 2 or 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, think about how much progression has happened in the last 10 years, right? People are much different than they were 10 years ago, right? Much different. You want to go all the way back to the 1940s as if that's even possible, not even realizing that the 1940s was just the improvement from the 1930s. This is why conservatism often sounds dumb to people who are progressive minded. Is my mic on? All right, cool. This is why conservatism sounds dumb to people who are progressive minded sometimes, because you can never go back. All right? We're not going back. That's the most unrealistic thing I have ever heard in my life. We are in 2025 trying to figure out how to fix communities and relationships. And your plan is to go back to 1940. And that's why in the beginning of the video, he's like, your plan only works for people who want to do that. What about the people that don't want to go back to 1940? And why stop at 1940? Why not 1910? What makes you think any of this is even possible? Like, this is all pie in the sky. It makes no sense.
And I will admit, generally, when people are talking about much more conservative values, they are talking about pre-civil rights movement, pre-Great Society agenda from Lyndon B. Johnson. But going back to 1863 and speaking about black marriages is odd to me because pre-emancipation, black people were considered subhuman, and subhuman people couldn't get marriage contracts. So it was illegal to get married. I'm sure that they were getting married in the church, but their marriage was not legally recognized by the government. So I don't even know how we would have data of black marriages in that time because it wasn't recorded.
Let's say we take it all the way back to the 1700s, let's just say, just for the sake of it, right? And that I'm totally wrong about all this, just for the sake of argument, let's just say. What is your prescription to deal with any of those issues when you're telling men in the black community to not get married? How is that going to assist with abortion?
Mind you, what Andrew Wilson likes to do when he debates people is he likes to knock people off track, much like the people who debate me, because he doesn't want to actually debate the issue itself. This debate is supposed to be about, is marriage good for men or not? And he keeps saying, we're debating what the solutions are. Why are you doing that?
How's that going to assist with strong fathers in the home? How's that going to assist with the only demographic population which can't reproduce itself? How? Can you give me a single prescription to any of that?
Let me tell you something. I agree with you on this.
I just want a prescription, dude.
Here's a problem.
Can you shut
I agree
up?
with you.
I'm
and
sorry,
listen,
I'm sorry.
if you had any ability to provide this prescription better than Louis Farrakhan or Martin Luther King,
Does that mean no?
Give me a second. Listen to me. These men have tried to pretty much heal this issue, and they haven't.
No, they didn't.
Andrew Wilson certainly not to. Neither will CGA. So I don't have a prescription
That's
for the black
right.
community because
That's
the
right.
black.
Listen, if you don't understand what CGA is getting at, he's saying the black community has been religious. They were religious when it broke down. That's not the issue. They've always been religious. What was Martin Luther King? A religious person. What was Malcolm X? What is Farrakhan? These are all religious people who are in the black community trying to change it. And you think that you, some creepy looking white dude, is going to come and say, hey, you guys need to go to church, and that's magically going to fix it? What are you even, who watches this?
Black community is pretty much doomed at this particular point. They have too much degeneracy.
Now, I disagree with CGA on this point, all right? I agree with his diagnosis. I just don't agree with what we're both looking at. You know what I mean? Like, I do agree that you're supposed to just let people do their thing. It's not your job to fix any community. But I don't think that's because the community is broken. I've done many debates on this. There's nothing wrong with the black community, all right?
They have single
Stop trying to propagandize us and catch spells on us, all right?
mother rates at the 70 and 80%.
black
But I'm going to tell you
bullshit.
something. You want to come in here and tell me something about ecclesiastics, and you're telling me about the reality of the black community, how to fix it. Nobody's been able to fix that community. So there's nothing you can do, and I can't offer any solution for that.
Look,
now, at that particular point, you're saying the risk is higher. It certainly will be higher under those matriarchal conditions. So you get no argument from me there. So at that point, where's your statistics lie then?
Well,
where's your solution then?
I'll tell you.
This is so fascinating because essentially CGA is like, yo, listen, the ship is sunk, baby. It ain't sinking. It's dead in the water. There ain't no salvaging it, right? But this is so fascinating because Andrew was proposing that one of the major issues with the black community when it comes to family dynamics and just everything that's wrong with the black community, we're lost sight of Christian conservatism. And if we abide by the rules like a patriarchal structure, for example.
Right, and CGA is saying that's ridiculous because we were under Christian conservatism when it broke down. So if we were already under Christian conservatism and it broke down, how are you suggesting that we go back to what we were at before it broke down? That state that we were in is what preceded it breaking down. I'm gonna try not to yell and get excited and peek my mic out, all right? But really think about what I'm saying. Why did it break down? Because of what preceded it. That's how events happen. So you can't say we need to go back. No. The reason why we're here is because of what was back there. All right?
Then it would begin to solve some of these issues. Where CGA is just like, well, if MLK and Farrakhan and like all of these different black leaders couldn't have done it and no one listens to them, what makes you think that they're gonna listen to anybody else? The interesting
or not just anybody. What makes you think they're gonna listen to you? All right? You look like Jack Skeleton, Andrew. All right? You're a weird, creepy looking rat-faced white dude Who is listening to you? Nobody cares about you and your Christian conservatism, all right? For real. No, I'm just giving you the reality.
The thing is that through the advent of the internet, there are
Trust me, I talk to these young YNs every day, all right? They don't give a shit about what you're talking about, bro.
some people that have way more reach than those old school names ever had. So it's almost like Andrew is sort of charging CGA with, well, but you are one mic that can reach hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. You can be charged to start. I think it'd be a lot different if CGA predicated his platform off of a black struggle, a black plight, and then all of a sudden became successful and just said, see ya. But I don't think that he's ever positioned himself like that. So the question is off to y'all. Do you guys think that us with platforms and as mics, as soon as we become large, it is incumbent upon us to try to fix some of the issues? Or is it that we all have free will and we can do whatever with our platforms that we want?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the answer to that one is the second one. You can do whatever you want with your platform, and everybody doesn't see everything as an issue. What you guys see as an issue, other people don't see like that. So you have to recognize that when you're trying to make decisions for everybody.
So I'm glad
He's going to solve the community problems here. I'd love to hear this.
Listen, again, I'm not saying
The black community problem solved by Andrew Wilson.
That says the guy who literally just
would
got
love to
done
hear
saying,
this.
I
I would
have
love to hear
zero
this.
prescriptions.
Because nobody does.
Yeah,
That
well,
community
here's
is
the
here.
thing.
But I would love to hear
Here's
the
the
black
thing.
community solved by Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, so let me tell you a bunch of things that can be done which will help mitigate these
Please
issues.
do, please
the
do.
first is
that you can accomplish,
Yeah.
not some
That can be-
pipe dream.
That can be
wanna hear it.
accomplished.
Okay, here we go.
That can be accomplished politically, and already are beginning to be accomplished politically. The first is you have to outlaw abortion. You have to. It has to be.
Never gonna happen. Think about it. That's his solution. Outlaw abortion. Wow. Oh, who would have thought of that? Thank you for that helpful insight. Dude, 60% of the voting base is women. That's not gonna happen. All right? Stop trying to control people. We talked about this earlier on TikTok. It's just the issue is that people want to control other people. Andrew, you can't control women. You can't control people at all, especially not women. You got a better off getting men to herd together to do something than you do with women. I'm just saying, all right? It's a wrap. Figure out another way.
Outlawed. And not by state where you can just go to the next state and do another abortion, right? One of the biggest problems with promiscuity in the black community is that they use abortion as a form of birth control.
Yeah.
The biggest problem in the black, see, this is where I start getting triggered, you know what I mean? Because you have never ever heard me use a sentence, the biggest problem in the white community. I've never used that sentence in my entire life. The biggest problem in the white community. Well, I don't give a shit about what goes on over there. Why are you guys so obsessed with us? The biggest problem in the black community. Are you in the black community? You know what? You know what I found out? Andrew actually is in the black community. You know what? We'll talk about that after. But this guy, you know what? He might actually have some insight. You know what? Let's just keep
problem that you see
going.
in the white community, by the way. It's just more prevalent in the black community.
Yeah.
The next problem that you have there is the lack of religiosity, where there used to be a really strong core religious base of base black men.
Yeah.
And they were patriarchal, very patriarchal.
They've demonized
and the thing
that,
is
though.
that it's the idea of these feminist bra-burning lunatics that told black women not to be under the evil patriarchy of their men. And yet,
Yes.
at this point, the men are rolling over and allowing the matriarchy to take over in their own community.
Take over in what community? Listen, man. Speak for yourself, Andrew. All right, I don't know what goes on in your community, but that's not happening in the communities that I'm in. Now, I'm not saying that women don't have a strong presence or anything like that, but nobody is rolling over allowing, listen, man.
A return.
My family, especially my older family, they still go to church every Sunday. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're talking about other people's communities. You're not talking about ours.
To traditional church ethics going to assist that? Of course it will. Of course it will.
No.
How do I know?
Assist.
Because it did then. Just a few short years ago.
No,
I'm not
it
talking
didn't.
about hundreds of years ago. I'm talking about 60 years ago.
No, it didn't. That's why it went the way it went. If it would have worked, then would we be in this situation? No. Think about it. We had it, right? Why didn't it work? Because it doesn't work.
By the way, there's other things that you can do too. Getting rid of EBT, getting rid of social programs which are designed to keep people dependent. These are all things.
See, I don't care as much about that, but if you're gonna get rid of EBT, if you're gonna get rid of social programs, get rid of the taxes too. You can't have one without the other. Give people their money back then. That's why, you know, a lot of people that use EBT actually have jobs. Did you know that? Did you know that most people that use EBT have jobs? That's correct. They have jobs, they still need EBT. Why is that? Because the government takes half their money. So if they're taking half the money, right, and then they're getting some of that back in EBT, they gotta go hand in hand. All right, if you don't want there to be money for EBT, then no money for military programs either. That's it. You gotta have it both ways. All right, give everybody their money back. All the 40% that you take out of people's check, make sure they get that check back, and then they won't need EBT. That's just a fact.
Things which can be politically accomplished, just like abortion. The starting of banning that was politically accomplished in our lifetime. And the thing is, like,
it wasn't.
You have no
No,
prescription.
it wasn't.
Fuck, at least I'm trying here, man.
Man, Andrew,
Yeah,
you
no.
are Captain Obvious.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you're just saying the exact same shit. Like, well, if everybody acted right, then we would all be good. If everybody could fly, then we would all be in the sky. Yeah, I know, Andrew, but nobody's gonna grow wings.
Is the
Then
obvious
why didn't you
prescription.
obviously state it as a prescription?
Because it doesn't work, you dumb buffoon. It doesn't work, because we've been trying it for years. All the leaders of the black community have all been religious. So why didn't it work, Andrew, when they were trying to push the exact same thing? Because you don't know what you're talking about.
Because people have exhausted the means to be able to do this. Trust me, there have been people way better than you that dress better than you and shave their beard better than you that can do this, and they haven't been able to accomplish it. You
So
have the
therefore
Democratic
nobody
Party that is.
See, did you guys hear what he just said? There have been people that look better than you, dress better than you, and shave better than you that have come with this exact same message, and they haven't been able to accomplish it, right? You look in the chat, everybody's all sensitive. Look, I can't believe CGA was insulting him. I can't believe it. Oh my God, CGA. Look, that guy is like, yeah, those are all solutions. None will happen. King of Black Pill. Look, I'm a black man. This is my first time listening to CGA and my last. You crybaby ass, oh my God. Y'all some whole, Listen, when he says, just like when I insult people, all right, it's for a reason. It's to make a point. People don't like listening to ugly people, Andrew. Do you know that? You know that people generally like people that are attractive? I know that's crazy for you to understand because you're so damn ugly, but dog, nobody wants to listen to your Jack Frost or Jack Skeleton ass tell them about how to live their life because nobody wants to live life like you. You understand, Andrew? You drink and you smoke all day, you sound horrible, you have a rat face, your wife is unattractive and quite frankly, not a good person. That's right, your wife is a terrible person. She exhibits all of these negative qualities that you are accusing the quote unquote black community. Like, I can't believe he would come in here and talk about promiscuity in the black community, living life the way he's living. And we're gonna get to him and his wife after this, but I just like, it makes absolutely no sense, all right? You are ugly as hell, nobody's gonna listen to you. People who look better than you have tried and it didn't work. That's the point he's making. He's like, look, you see how I'm dressed right now? You look at the difference between CGA and Andrew. You see this? He's like, I look 1,000 times better than you, Andrew, and I'm 20 years older. I'm 20 years older and we look the same age, and they're not listening to me. So why do you think they're gonna listen to you, Andrew? They're not going to, okay? So come up with a solution that's here on earth.
Highly influential. 92% of black women can do this
Tell them
to be able to
again.
do this. Trust me, there have been people way better than you that dress better than you and shave their beard better than you that can do this, and they haven't been able to accomplish it. You
So
have the
therefore
Democratic
nobody
Party that is highly influential. 92% of black women voted for Democrats. That's also possibly where most of those women go to church. Most of black churches are overwhelmingly women. It's a woman.
Tell them, right? Oh, what happens think about it. Yeah, people are going to black church. So what's your solution now? They're already going to church, Andrew, idiot.
Club, and you're telling me about
Not the
something
traditional
completely
churches.
obvious that everybody has pointed out for 25 years. You're not giving me.
And he says, not the traditional church. Okay, so his solution is to take black people out of black churches now and put them in his church. That's his solution. Dog, men really are the problem. Wow.
Anything new. This is a completely obvious scenario, and you believe that you've enlightened me over here, and you're waiting for me to give you a solution. Let me tell you
It's
something.
not about changing your mind.
You certainly would never do that. Now, at this particular point here, the unsettling experience that men experience in divorce, all right? You're saying you're just going to mitigate it or eradicate it. What about the small percentage of men that experience it and go through issues like high levels of self-deletion?
Hold on, before they get into that, this is actually one of the issues with these debates is that they're not doing a debate to really get down to the core issue.
All right,
High
thank you,
levels
MTR.
of-
See, listen, if you want to hear MTR babble about nonsense, then you can hear that. But like I said, I wasn't even going to watch this debate, and then I saw the comments on this. Then I heard MTR just be confused the whole time. I'm like, dude, CGA really is over these guys' heads like this?
Them not being able to recover financially ever. They're still going to experience this under your scenario. This
Yes.
doesn't disappear.
It'll
What
never
prescription do you have for those men that went to your marriage and they got divorced 33%? What do you do
Well,
with
no, it's
these
not
men?
33%
Okay,
by
20%, 30%. It still was at a high rate.
I think it would
what
even be
prescription
lower than that,
You would
but-
hope so. You would hope so. The hope is not a strategy. What? Hold on for a second. What?
Okay.
What scenario do you have for men that you led into the burning building when they experience separation from their children, parental alienation,
It's a good
high levels
question.
of self-deletion.
Yeah.
What prescription do you have, sir, that you sold?
Yeah,
have
that's a
all
great
you
question.
have all the answers.
Remember all those things that you just heard about, right? Parental alienation, self-deletion. Think about all these things before we start perusing into Andrew's actual past. I mean,
Please enlighten us.
Yeah,
what
so-
are you going to do with these men?
so-
Are you going to enforce them to have sex
Yeah,
with
yeah.
other virgins that
I'll
you have on the sideline?
I'll answer the question,
Please
but I
do.
want to make a deal with you that if I answer this last question of yours, that you'll actually answer when I ask you.
but you know what? I think we're just gonna go back to the listen. By the way, the reason why he brought up that virgin thing, right? Because he asked Andrew what his solutions were early in this debate before MTR decided to show it. And Andrew's solution was, well, you know, marriages work a lot better if the women are virgins. Your solution is that we marry virgins, Andrew? Like, what is this guy?
You after that. Is
Listen,
that a
we're
deal?
not in a court of law. I don't have to answer anything. I can state something.
Yeah, no,
and
but
then
I'm
we
asking
go
if we
back
can
and
make a
forth.
deal.
Tell
That
him,
if I
tell
answer
him.
this
No,
question,
tell him
you'll answer
again.
The
my
question that you asked me. I'll
Listen,
send it to you.
listen. This is how you handle Andrew in a debate. This is why Andrew wins every debate, and this is why he lost this one and will inevitably lose to me if we ever debate because of this right here. Watch.
Actually answer when I ask you after that. Is
Listen,
that a
we're
deal?
not in a court of law. I don't have to answer anything. I can state something.
Yeah, I know,
and
but
then
I'm
we can
asking
go
if we
back
can
and
make a
forth.
deal. That if I
I'll
answer this
consider
question, you'll answer
answering
my
the
next
question
one.
that you asked me. I'll
So
consider
we're not
it.
going to make a deal on that?
I'm about to make a deal. Listen,
You
don't have to.
consider
I'm asking if
answering
you will.
something.
No.
Possibly. So go ahead.
Possible. Okay, well then I possibly will hold the debate hostage until you possibly
All
make
right.
a deal with
All
me.
right,
See,
great.
see, you see what Andrew's doing?
Give me
Patty.
four.
So
Yeah.
we'll just sit here and
They
stare at
give
each
you the
other,
floor.
or we
Well,
just
here's the deal.
filibuster each
Think
other.
Think about it. Think
Like
about
this
it.
particular-
He's not filibustering.
Good
Yeah.
point.
So
oh, you don't want to.
so I can
you want to
answer-
answer it.
Oh,
You want to
come
answer
on.
it.
But you're not
going
going to answer mine.
I
just
don't
want that
care.
clear. You're not going to answer.
Right? He's like, Andrew, you have no leverage. You don't get to force me to say what you want me to say. No, I'll decide if I want to do it. If you want to answer this question, then answer it. If you don't, then I'll talk some more. Be quiet and let me talk. That's what he's saying. Be quiet, then I'll talk.
Mine after. You're just going to filibuster and
answered the
stonewall
question.
again.
I ask you the question. Put it on the
Yeah.
table.
So this is pretty simple, right? What you're proposing here. Every policy prescription which is made anywhere in any nation, with any people group, from the tribal all the way to the national level, is going to be a trade-off, no matter what. There's always going to be some people who are disaffected by it in some small percentage, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. We don't run societies based on outliers. The second
All right. You know
thing
what?
is, when it comes to suicide in men, particularly, one of the best ways to mitigate that is to begin the process of
All right. Here we go. We're gonna go
Dolo,
back to
now
the
what are they
beginning.
doing?
All right, we're gonna go back to the beginning. We're not gonna watch this whole thing. All right, but we're gonna watch a little bit of the beginning, probably up to the point where we started at, which is right here, and then we're gonna look into Andrew's past. It is a dark past, man. It's a very dark past. Like I can't even. I'm embarrassed that Andrew would even be up here debating about this kind of stuff, talking about Christian values, when he has the kind of past that he has. It honestly.
Okay,
yeah.
guys, finally getting started. Thanks for being patient. I know there was some
Position to benefit both people in a divorce. It was an institution that built the community of America.
Here we go.
Okay, guys, finally getting started. Thanks for being patient. I know there was some delays. We got Andrew here versus Coach.
Listen, if there's anything going on that you guys think I should talk about, drop it in the chat, or you can hit the Discord and drop what I should look at in the Discord. I got some other things on the list, but to be real, after we go through Andrew's past, it might be so dark that we might just have to call an altar call and get out of here after that. Honestly, I really don't know how I'm going to feel after that, so we'll see.
Coach Greg Adams, aka the Free Agent Lifestyle. We're going to talk about today, is marriage worth it for men in the West? So let's get into some opening statements. Who wants to start off?
Yeah, man, marriage is a great institution. It was an institution that built the community of America. Most of the better communities that have safety, good children, good schools, are typically centered around marriage. However, marriage has not progressed to the point where men can be safe legally, and a lot of men have experienced tremendous damage, collateral damage as a result, and it has led to broken families, a lot of broken hearts, simply because the laws are not positioned to benefit both people in a divorce. Therefore, you have no-fault divorce. You have opportunities for women to use the courts against men. And as a result, men have seen 1, 2, and 3 generations of men getting harmed, their grandfathers, their fathers, their uncles, their brothers getting harmed by this. So Generation Z men are not positioning themselves for a positive marriage. So at this particular point, if someone asked me, would I recommend marriage for them, and they were in a certain position in life, they weren't established, I would say no. There's no benefit for the person to get married today.
Got it. Your response, Andrew?
Yeah, I didn't hear any anti-marriage arguments. I heard anti-divorce arguments. So I'm with you on divorce, 100%.
Stream over.
And
I agree.
But it's a good thing that the topic.
Think about it. Andrew is with him on divorce. Just remember that when we go into his past. Remember that. And he's going to ask Andrew point blank, have you been divorced before, Andrew? He's like, well, I don't see why that's relevant. Oh, so yeah, you have, haven't you? So you're part of the problem, Andrew? You're not part of the problem, are you? Well,
It isn't on divorce, it's on marriage. And it seems like you agree with my proposition then. And the proposition is that marriage, quote, is a great institution. And that right now your concern is that men can't be safe in marriage, but that's not actually what you're saying. You're not saying men can't be safe in marriage. They can. You're saying that they may not be safe in divorce. So I have a counter proposition for you.
Isn't that the dumbest thing ever? You're like, well, you're not saying men can't be safe in marriage. You're saying they can't be safe in divorce. Yeah, the reason why they can't be safe in marriage is because of divorce. You dumb idiot.
My counter proposition is, what if it's the case that you can use religious marriage institutions without the state? And then we add the ecclesiastical structure of the marriage. That's what always kept them together anyway, before the state was ever involved. So what if instead we use the ecclesiastical church, the structure of the
He's saying the thing that kept people together was only the church. They only stayed together because of the church, not because they loved each other, not because of family or community. They stuck together because of the ecclesiastical structure that existed.
old churches, that would be Catholicism and Orthodoxy, where you see the lowest divorce rates, because the community puts pressure on the women to act right. That's what they do. Right now, the state applies no pressure on women to act right, right? You can just go and file whatever you want, get a divorce.
So just so we're clear, his idea is that because Catholicism and Orthodoxy have the lowest divorce rates, we need to make everybody Catholic and Orthodox Christian. Andrew, what do you think are the possibilities of getting everybody to be Catholic or Orthodox Christian? What do you think are the chances of that?
And go be banging the neighbor by the next night. We totally agree on that. But to say that we should abandon marriage is silly. It seems like you're completely pro-marriage. You're just anti-divorce. So why wouldn't you just throw your weight behind institutions where the divorce rate is the least, and you have an ecclesiastical structure which can be appealed to assist with that? That's what makes no sense.
See, these are the dumb arguments that make me think that Tripp is right again. When Tripp says stuff like, I think Andrew is a CIA operative, this is the type of shit right here, right? Like, well, what are you talking about? Your idea, your grand plan for society is to force people back into ecclesiastical structures so that way churches can put social pressure on the women to stay with guys that they don't like? That's your plan? Oh.
Sense to me.
My response to that is,
we are so lost.
if we're fifths, we beat all drunk. All right, so that's a scenario that just isn't present.
Can you
in
explain
today's-
the analogy for me?
Well, if we use if,
This dummy doesn't understand that analogy. Or is he being facetious? Either way, bad strategy.
it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If we say if we have a situation where this is present, then this would work. Well, that makes sense. If we had that,
We
it
do
would
have it
work
right now.
Well, it doesn't necessarily work because, and I'm going to tell you why, because a woman can go to a divorce attorney and they can simply just say, hey, listen, it was a off the cuff, off the state divorce, but you got married within a certain state, or she filed in a certain state, so therefore the divorce goes on.
No,
Absolutely, yes.
well,
Listen, I've been to with the divorce attorneys, and what they'll tell you is, hey, listen, you can get married in a ritual, you can get married in the orthodoxy, you can get married off record, but if she files and that woman is hell-bent on saying, we got married, I don't care if it was a ceremony where we walked on coals with our feet bare, that's considered a marriage. You also have common law. You have a lot of
Facts. That's what listen, you guys do not know what's going on out here, all right?
other ways for that woman to establish
How
marriage.
does
And
your way eliminate common law?
I don't have any way to eliminate common law.
So
What
then-
I have is a way.
He never said he's gonna eliminate common law. That wasn't his plan. Look at Andrew pouring all this liquor. How does your way eliminate? Listen, bro, see, he didn't say eliminate common law. His idea is that we need to stop putting yourself at risk altogether unless you are in a position to be able to handle that. That's what he said. If you're not established, then no. If you are established, then maybe you can put something together that works for you. But if you can't, then you are at risk.
Way for men to avoid
Well, then the
being
argument's
used.
silly.
No, the argument's not silly. So here's what you have. You have a if proposition, which doesn't exist for most men. Most men aren't religious. Most men aren't looking to be under a religious orthodoxy. So it doesn't apply. So you're taking a moral standard or a religious standard to apply to people who aren't under that veil.
So let's start with a couple of things you said which are fundamentally untrue. Most men are religious, in fact.
No, they're not. You're lying, Andrew. Most men are not religious. Most men believe in God. Yes. Most men are not under some religious hierarchy. That is not true.
Including in this country.
No,
Most
you're
of them.
no,
Not
they're
some of
not.
them.
But they're not
No,
religious.
they're not.
Hang on, I didn't
Hold on for a
interrupt. I
second.
didn't interrupt.
Right.
You see, this is where CGA turns into me now. Watch.
Saying, but let me just take that point. Most aren't under your religion.
Okay,
we can agree with that.
So here's the thing, though. But Catholicism and Orthodoxy is growing rapidly, and if it's the case that the ecclesiastical structure is already there, which it is, right? If you're going to cohabitate with a woman, the thing that you're offering right now is common law marriage anyway.
No, it's not. No, it's not. CGA never said common law. His idea is the same as mine. Do not cohabitate. You can be with a woman as long as you want. If you're not ready to take that step, don't cohabitate. Because if you cohabitate for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, then she can file for divorce even though you guys never got married. And if you were together for more than 10 years, she might win.
Well, if there's cohabitation at all, you're not protecting anybody from that. At least under my model, it gives an ecclesiastical structure that's designed to prevent divorce by applying community pressure. That was the way it was always done. Apply the application of community pressure within the confines of the woman's social circle. Right now, do you agree with me, for instance, that many divorces happen because women like to yap? So you get a freshly divorced woman, and she's free. You go, girl. Girl power.
What the hell is he talking about? Did you hear? Most divorces happen because women like to yap. I'm embarrassed that I even gave Andrew the credit of being a decent debater. Like, this is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. Most divorces happen because women like to yap. Go ahead, Andrew.
And she starts talking to her little friends, and she starts telling them how liberating it is and how great it is and this and that. And this is why when women have divorced friends, their likelihood of divorce actually rapidly increases. It's for this reason.
Divorce is contagious.
So if it's the case.
The Organic Copper Collective said the heretics were against marriage as well. The Catholic Church got rid of them.
That this social contagion is eliminated because now we have an ecclesiastical structure, an ecclesiastical authority, which won't grant it because you get ostracized from that social group through excommunication, for instance, or not being able to participate anymore with that community. That's an application of a serious and significant social pressure, which can do the very thing you want. Bring back that great institution, absent the state, and it avoids this whole problem of common law marriage. Because if it's the case that you can be common law married anyway, inside of a state, and they can get grounds for divorce on that anyway, then we actually need to have some social pressures to prevent them from doing that. So it sounds like we agree marriage is awesome for men. Divorce is terrible for them. So it seems like we should be attacking the divorce structure here, and it doesn't seem like you actually have anything to do that other than just avoid the thing that's great for you, because this other bad side effect could happen.
Sure, that's like smoking cigarettes.
So why don't we attack the bad side effect when we have the mechanism to do it? It's not if, we can do it now.
Okay, so like smoking cigarettes is the same analogy you're saying. Okay, here, cigarettes in this situation, we obviously know it has negative side effects, so you would avoid it. Now, here's the issue that I have with this.
Listen, that's a great point, right? Think about it. He's like, okay, so you're saying that, well, I mean, smoking cigarettes is great, but the problem is that you might get sick. So imagine if we could smoke cigarettes and not get sick. Would that be something you might be interested in? Yes, Andrew, I think that might be something I might be interested in, all right? But while we're on Earth and I get sick if I do smoke cigarettes, I would suggest that people don't smoke cigarettes. That's the point, all right?
It sounds great on paper, but we can't travel to the land of make-believe. It sounds great. The majority of people probably wouldn't do it. And if you ask a guy, which this is an important part, they're not even prepared to even talk about that. They don't even know what divorce laws are. So you're asking them to travel to the land of make-believe under a marriage system that small percentage of people use. No one uses it today. You might have said they used it to the past. Today, that doesn't exist. So we can't travel to the land of make-believe to make marriage work for you. It might work in your marriage, but it doesn't work for the greater structure.
Your argument here contradicts itself, because on the one hand, you say men don't know enough about marriage.
So
but my assumption is that your
so disrespectful.
mission is to let men know about marriage?
Absolutely.
Okay, well then, I don't understand how it's a land of make-believe if you can let them know about this, but I can't?
Sure.
Right,
And you can offer that.
So if I
You can offer
am,
that.
it sounds like I'm offering a real alternative to what you're offering, and here's what you're offering. Men, marriage is great.
Yeah, your alternative is to turn back literal time so that way people start thinking the way they did in the 1940s when they were in the process of improving from the 1930s. All right, that's not how it works. Time doesn't go backwards. Time goes forward. Okay, so you can't go back to the 1940s. No, the only way you can get to the 1940s is you will have to be in the 1930s, and then you will move forward from here to there. So wherever we're at now, we have to move forward to somewhere better. You understand? Not backward. We have to move forward.
It's a great institution. It's the best for children. These are your words. In marriage, right? Men seem to thrive. Their health seems to thrive. Everything seems to thrive. You're saying, well, the problem is that divorce rates are high, and they are. However, there's a few things there that you haven't covered. One, it depends on demographic too. For instance, if you're black, it's going to be way worse than if you're white.
Correct.
Okay? Way worse. And also socioeconomics matters, right? Demographics in general matter. So you can do a lot, actually, including prenuptial agreements. You can have a prenuptial agreement with the ecclesiastical authority without the state even involved, and it seems like that would mitigate your risk to damn near nothing.
You said if about 50 times
So did
today.
you.
Now, here's what I'm telling you.
So
I'm
did
telling you
you.
when, all right? We're already in this system. You're going outside of the system to create a scenario for me to argue
What
against.
system are you going outside of?
We're talking about
I just want to make a note that Andrew said you can get a prenup even though you're not married, right? Just think about it, because later on, he's going to say that women cannot divorce you if you've never been married to them, which is not true. But how is that true if you can get a prenup even though you're not married? I just want to point that out.
our marriage is typically done with the state. Almost everyone does it this way.
Typically,
so now
it's
you're
not-
here's hold on
it's
for a
not
second. Hold on for a
must.
second. You've
Typically
moved the
doesn't mean
goalposts.
anything.
You've moved the goalposts to a scenario of if, and you're arguing from
is.
the if. No,
Is.
hold on for a second. You're arguing from the if perspective.
It is perspective.
Now listen.
It is.
Give me a
it's
chance to
perspective.
listen.
All right.
You see, you can't, Andrew, no.
Give
I'll
me a
give you a
chance.
chance. Go ahead.
You're arguing from a very small percentage point. Now you're saying demographics, and we can talk about that, but you're still trying to get me to argue in your cloud of if. That's the land of make-believe. Most people, by far, are married to the state. Not only that, your land of make-believe still exists, the prenup with the ecclesiastics. You can write whatever you want in that prenup. It only matters in the divorce. That's the reality. So I'm still dealing in reality. You're in the clouds. Hold on for a second. You're in the clouds. So let's take the demographics.
Okay.
In your scenario, it sounds like, which would be fair, your primary concern is with white people.
No, it's with
Hold
all
on for a
people.
second. You said with black people, the demographics, the chance is higher.
Yeah.
So have you discovered the ecclesiastics approach to black people married within this?
Yes.
However, their demographics, economics, which all do affect marriage, has nothing to do in the land of the clouds or the make-believe with ecclesiastics. It's all going to boil down to in the law. And there's no church reverend that's going to go into your household to make sure there's social pressure on your wife. Do you know
yes,
any?
sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know any that can cover all marriages? That
Yes.
answer is no.
Do you hear him? See, this is that bullshit right here. This is that bullshit. He said, there are no reverends that are gonna go in your house and force your wife to stay with you. And Andrew's like, yes, yeah, no, I know. He's just saying yes to anything. So that's it. Think about it. That's his solution. We need to put people back under a structure where we can control them. I need to control people. I need to control my wife. And when I can't control her, I need the pastor to come in and make my wife sleep with me. This is the problem. I see now. My bad, guys. My bad.
Yes. By the way, when you keep
Are we in reality here?
I'm
or are we in
trying-
the clouds?
when
I mean,
you're-
we're
when
not
you're-
we're not arguing
I was
anything
just trying-
legitimate.
I was just
this
trying
is
to-
this is in the land of make believe.
Well, when I'm allowed to respond, let me
okay, give me
know.
a second.
Go
Let
ahead.
me finish this point.
Go ahead.
You're imagining. Your imagination is great. John Lennon would be great. You know, you would be proud of you at this particular point.
But I'm imagining all the people.
You're imagining all the people under a situation and a structure that you brought in here, all right? But the state highly governs this, and the state highly governs divorce. I'm dealing in a reality situation where I'm trying to counsel men to give information to. The best thing you've told me is that you're willing to give men the option to do this. Are they willing to all do this option? The answer is probably not, just like they're not willing to do what I'm telling them to do. However, we're both attempting, which is a good thing. It's noble. However, your situation rarely exists. Can we talk about the reality of what exists?
Sure.
Absolutely. So let's take your moral religious crusade out of it and talk about the reality.
Yeah, let's
Are you
not.
willing to do that?
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
See, you're not willing to do that
Well,
because it's all based on your reality.
Guess what? It's a debate, and
That's what he's saying. He's like, dude, most of the people in the world do not believe what you believe. So do you have a solution for other people that don't believe what you believe? Is there a situation that exists for people today, like a realistic one? Not a situation that only works if we're back in the 1940s?
I will argue my points from my view, how I see fit. It's not for you to.
But what I'm
govern.
not going to do is
It's
expect
not
to
my
be arguing
government.
from the land of make believe.
Yeah, but it's
okay.
not- you
All
don't-
right. So
okay,
anybody
my
have
turn, my turn,
Anybody
relax.
have anybody have the sound effect for the television show where the train comes through, Mr. Rogers?
Let me know.
Look at how he's shutting Andrew down. Usually Andrew does this to other people. He has no problem sitting here quiet like a church mouse while CGA just runs all over him. All right, I don't care how you feel about CGA's conduct or how he's acting. His points are 100% correct. Andrew is 100% wrong. Maybe it makes logical sense in his mind, but tons of people are not religious, so it don't work for them. All right, what about the people who are Muslim? It don't work for them. Think about it. It won't work for them either, will it?
Because I want to be on
Let me know
I
when
want
you
to be
gas
on
out.
Earth.
Yeah, let me know
All
when
right.
you
Let's
gas
let Andrew respond.
Yeah. So The thing is it's funny that you bring up Imagine All the People of John Lennon, which is an anti-religious song. And hilariously enough, was designed to assist with female empowerment.
Oh
Isn't that
my
hilarious? But
God,
the thing
shut
here
up.
is you keep on saying that what I'm offering is make-believe, but it's not. It's been governing the Orthodox and Catholic Church for 2,000 years, including in this country. Now, here, let me give you an example, for instance, the Amish, right? Do you know what the divorce
He said it's been governing the church for 2,000 years, including in this country. Okay.
rate is among them? It's almost non-existent, and yet they're still governed by the same laws of the land that you're speaking to. So sounds like if I give a counter, if I say, look, I can give you a way, a methodology, in which you can utilize the religious ecclesiastical institution which has existed for 2,000 years and has right now the lowest divorce rates, right this second as we speak, not in make-believe land, not hundreds of years in the future, right this second, as opposed to the system you have of common law divorce, which is sky high and you can't do anything about it. That's what is true. So pointing out what is true is right now you can have a prenup. That is true. What is true is prenups are usually held up in court. That is true. What is true is that you can have a marriage outside of a state because it's a religious institution anyway.
By the way, if this is going too fast for you, just let me know because I have it on 1.25 and I'll slow it down.
You never have to have a license with the state. It's never been necessary. And if you do, the only way that that can be done is if it's sacramental. And if it's sacramental, it's governed now by the church. That's going to be the community the women are a part of. And so the thing is like, that sounds like a real viable solution. What's yours? More fucking degeneracy? Go out and play the field, hump a lot of chicks? How's that going to help anybody do anything? That's been the progressive mantra for 100 years. Isn't it wonderful?
No, it hasn't.
All right, we're returning back to earth. Now, first things first. When it comes to this, back in reality, there's no God in marriage. So, Mr. Sky Daddy, God, religion, that's all great, but there's no God in marriage. At this particular point, when you go through a marriage, if one person decides to not obey the Holy Bible or whatever you're thumping, you have no basis to keep that marriage together. If she decides to leave the church and decides not to listen or excommunicate herself, she's now under the state.
Agree.
Now, when you're getting divorced, which I'm assuming you've been divorced.
Well, I mean, that's a hell of an assumption to make.
Have you been divorced?
I mean,
have you been married?
Can you tell me, if you can tell me how that has any merit?
Give me
Look, just know that the reason he's reacting like this is the exact reason you think.
second, because if you've been through one, you would know that there's no God in the divorce court, in the family court. There's no God in there. No one asked you.
There is the state in there.
There is a state. So that's what we're arguing from.
Yeah,
That's when you get married. So you're telling me if, and I'm telling you, well, this is what's going to happen. Even if you took Sky Daddy into court with you, they would say, you pray to the judge. The judge is the authority in the court. So the God argument is
Exactly.
a nice, interesting
Yeah. In the courtroom, you're not praying to God. You're praying to the judge.
argument. And I probably am not going to stay on the conversation very long because that's your God. That's your Sky Daddy. That's your religion. I have a different religion. So who
What does
gives
that
you
do with
the
anything?
listen? Who gives you the authority to change the understanding, the conversation to your religion? That's your religion.
I'm not changing the conversation.
Okay, so it only works if it only works if you believe in your Sky Daddy. That's the only way it works, and that's the only way you're going to advise men.
We're talking about mitigating risk.
No. We're talking about can men get into a marriage today? Only
Right. Why is he changing the conversation? The debate is marriage viable for men? Not how do you mitigate risk? You're changing that.
under your Sky Daddy. That's what we're assuming.
Okay.
Now, can they do it otherwise?
Yeah, you can have secular marriage.
Okay, go ahead and explain.
Okay, yeah,
Make it work.
I just did.
Make it work.
The argument that you have is that marriage
By the way, he just asked him, can you make secular marriage work for people that don't believe in God? This is his answer.
is great. It's a great institution. Okay, yeah,
Now, can they do it otherwise?
Yeah, you can have secular marriage.
Okay, go ahead and explain.
Okay, yeah,
Make it work.
I just did.
Make it work.
The argument that you have is that marriage is great. It's a great institution.
We already covered this.
Well, what made it great?
We already covered
What
this.
made it great?
Can we go into why it would make it work for your secular? That's the question
yeah,
I ask you.
but-
You're asking me questions back. Go ahead and
Yeah,
go ahead and
okay,
answer the
so,
question.
So if you're talking about secular marriage, there's never been any point to it.
I'm sorry.
There's never been any point to secular marriage.
That's his solution. There's no point for people to get married if they don't believe in God.
Ever. Never. What would ever be
Or
the
there's no point in them getting married if they don't do it under a religious institution.
point of secular marriage? It's always been a religious institution.
All right, so if people aren't religious, then what value do you offer to them, Andrew? If they're not religious, you offer zero value, literally zero.
That's what made it great. Now, when you say it's a great institution, what made it great for secularists, other than the fact that Sky Daddy and God had all these enforcement arms and those things had to be enforced socially? Like, for instance, men weren't allowed to run away. And women, right, they had to show cause for these divorces. And they had to be good causes. They had to show it for things like infidelity, right? It was all biblically governed. It was all lawfully governed by this Sky Daddy guy you like so little. But that's what made the institution great in the first place. And what you're talking about here, you're making a point that divorce is bad. And yet, I agree. Divorce is
Correct.
bad. So what we're really talking about is how do we mitigate the risk for divorce? And we have two different methods.
No, that's not what's oh my God.
Well, the conversation
The
is
method-
marriage good for men. That's the
Yes.
conversation.
But it is. We already said it's good for men.
No, it's not.
That's not even a
And
dispute.
now, how do we make it better since they're avoiding
well,
it?
it
Since
sounds
men or women
like,
are avoiding it.
It sounds like the thing that you think makes it bad is divorce, not marriage.
Correct.
Then we need to mitigate divorce.
We're 15 minutes in, and we are in the land of reality. You finally called up. Can you tell
I've been
me
there the whole
how
time.
we can get to the secular marriage? I mean, I've given you a chance.
so
You're dragging your
So
feet.
again, secular. There's never been any point to secular marriage ever.
Now, listen. Marriage is for child creation. It would be great for child community
it's
and
not
all
just
of
for
these
that.
things. And now,
See, he has no solutions. He's trying to get on Coach Greg Adams about solution. His only solution is become Christian. That's all he has.
listen, by the time the religious aspects got into marriage, they were chopping people's heads off and burning Bibles. So listen, I know we want to take it back to the past and act like the past was better, but there's always a negative part of the past. If you go back and you look at the English, this has all been there. People were getting their heads chopped off. The Crusaders were doing their things across countries and they were spreading Christianity.
Yeah, remember he said that the ecclesiastical church has been governing marriage for 2,000 years, and that's why it was so good. He's like, yeah, well, 2,000 years ago, they were also chopping people's heads off.
So,
Threats and
what does that have to
violence.
do with anything?
Now, that's what you're trying to uplift. That's what you're trying to uphold.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You wouldn't know what I'm talking
I
about.
don't.
That's where you're lacking.
I have no
So
idea.
catch up.
Yeah.
You're sitting
What
across
does
from me. I
Crusades
want
have
you
to
to
do with
Yeah,
divorce?
He's like, I know you don't know what I'm talking about. You're either lying or you're just dumb. All right, so that don't mean nothing to me just because you don't know what I'm talking about. That means you're dumb. All right, yeah. In the Crusades, during this time that you're saying this marriage was established, that's what they were doing. They had to do it by force. If it was so good, then why did they have to burn people at the stake?
That was when your holy marriage was the best marriage that you're trying to go to. Now listen,
In the
if we're trying to drag it
1950s?
back-
Were we crusading
No,
in the
no, no,
1950s?
no, no, no.
What
You
an
tell me
idiot.
what I'm talking
You
about.
talked about the institution of marriage for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Sir, do you need me to catch you up on what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
but
You're having
do
trouble
you know what
keeping up
marriage-
with me.
do you know what
You're
marriage was
having
like
trouble
50 years
keeping up
ago?
with me. You said
I am.
2,000 years ago.
Truly,
and
your
I told you
intellect is
2,000
dizzying.
years ago, they were marriage for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Sir, do you need me to catch you up on what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
but
You're having
do
trouble
you know what
keeping up
marriage-
with me.
do you know what
You're
marriage was
having
like
trouble
50 years
keeping up
ago?
with me. You said
I am.
2,000 years ago.
Truly,
And
your
I told you
intellect is
2,000
dizzying.
years ago, they were chopping people's heads off. I
Which
need you
has
to
You listen, you never seen Andrew get cooked this bad until you thought about him debating me. That's a fact. I mean, this is exactly what I would do with Andrew. I mean, almost word for word. Like, Andrew, you're slow. You're just slow, or you're trying to act slow, and it ain't working. All right?
What to do with
I
anything?
need you to catch up with me, sir.
Okay.
If you want to take things back to the past, you have to accept everything as the past. You can't just cherry pick. Now, here's the thing. You're cherry picking.
Exactly. Think about it. He's like, let's go back to the 1940s, but just the marriage part, though. Not all the. Okay, bro, that don't work like that. You're in imaginary world.
If you want to take things back to tradition, take it all the way back. Why stop at the 50s? Take it back to the 1890s.
What you're saying right now is so incoherent. I actually don't even understand
Well,
it.
that's what.
Yeah, that means you're stupid, Andrew. That's because you're a stupid man, and you have no idea about anything other than trying to push your ecclesiastical religion, which I really think is some CIA bullshit. Because you don't even live that. You don't even.
Listen. When
It's
when you're running out of bullets,
incoherent.
when you're running out of bullets,
Well,
the
it's
last
just
thing you do
incoherent.
is the shame. All right,
I'm not
listen,
even trying to
are
shame you. It's
struggling?
just incoherent.
I need you to catch up with me.
Okay, catch me up.
Just say you're lacking if you can't keep it up.
It's
all right,
an
now here's the
incoherent-
problem.
it's
Here's the-
incoherent.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem.
No, there was nothing incoherent about it. I understood it perfectly the first time. That's right. You can't be trying to turn back time talking about you want to pop out one thing that's good from the 1940s, but leave the rest of it there. And then we're going to skip over 1950, 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000, all the way to 2010s, all the way to the 2020s. We're just going to skip over all that like that didn't happen? What world are you living in where that's even possible or you've ever seen that happen?
I don't know what to tell you.
Here's the problem you're having.
2,000 years ago, they were chopping heads off. Who gives a shit?
Listen,
what does that
you
have to do with
said
anything?
2,000 years ago. I'm coming up with yours. Your holy religious 2,000 years ago. It's been a part of
What
the
does that
institution.
have to do with this?
Exactly. Here's the problem. You're cherry picking.
Cherry picking what?
Listen.
I'm
you want-
listening.
I'm gonna slow you down. I'm gonna
Slow
slow
me
you
way
down
down.
because I see what you're doing here. I'm gonna slow you down.
Okay.
Because it's hard for you to keep up.
It is. You're
I
right.
understand. I
am-
understand because you
Facts.
haven't been across. This is your
Bedazzled.
toughest debate. Your audience knows this.
Oh, it's
Yes.
rough.
There's no God in marriage.
Okay.
In the United States.
Yeah.
Can we agree to that? When you get to divorce, there's
No,
no God in
no, we
marriage.
can't agree to that.
We need to agree to it because when you go into divorce court,
Yeah.
there's no God.
Yeah,
you
but
can't bring in your
I
God
thought-
and your Bible. And at that particular point, none of your ecclesiastics marriage works.
Okay.
Period.
So the thing is, you just said, can we agree that there's no God in marriage? And then
You don't have to agree.
But hang on, calm down. And then you switched over to divorce. There's no God in divorce. But those are two different questions. And proposition. Hang on, relax.
No, they're
the
not.
second thing is that
divorce is a part of marriage. That's why.
me saying that what made marriage a great institution is this whole Sky Daddy character. And that the institution has been in place for 2,000 years. And it's
Yeah,
been, hang on,
2,000 years.
calm down.
2,000
And it's been a
years.
strong institution. I'm not actually sure how tying in that at the time they cut people's heads off, what that has to do with the fact that in the 1950s and 40s, you still had 95% of these marriages staying together. This is not ancient history. This is not even early American history. That's hang on. That's in your grandfather's lifetime, basically. And this, by the way, that was the case for black marriages as well. Very strong institutions. But all of those institutions were that way because they followed that whole Sky Daddy thing. They were like, oh, that Sky Daddy's going to smite us if we don't. And so what you do here is you're giving the classic progressive argument, which is, well.
By the way, I disagree with that 100%. I do not think that marriages were good because of quote unquote Sky Daddy. All right. I think that they were good and lasted because of how strong communities and families were at the time. 100%.
You know, guys, it is true that it's a great institution, and it is true it's the best place in the world to have children for the continuation of the species. And also, it's fantastic for men's health. It's fantastic for their mental health. It's great for them in almost every way. But that divorce thing is real bad, and I counter. You're right. That divorce thing is real bad. We have now a center of agreement. But now we're going back to the marriage in the West thing, which is that whole great institution problem. Well, if we agree that what made it good, which you just did, is, hey, that Sky Daddy guy, and then I point out that right now you can still utilize that Sky Daddy guy for an ecclesiastical marriage outside of the state. Hang on.
Yeah, but you can only use it if you believe in that and if your wife believes in it. And if she chooses to live by those principles. She can believe in it and still not live by the principles. That's the point. There's all these ifs.
And the only thing you could do is say, what about common law? But you can't govern anybody from common law. And at least in the ecclesiastical institution, you have social pressures on women to stay married. You can't offer a man anything like that.
Yeah, you can. Don't live together. All right? Be with whoever you want. Live separately.
Give me a single social pressure you can offer that would actually keep these marriages together. One.
Social pressure. Think about the kind of guy that wants to force women into doing stuff. Like why would you want to force somebody to stay with you? I can't even understand that kind of thinking. I want to find out right away if the woman that I'm with does not like me. If you don't like me, you don't want to stay with me, please let me know so you can leave. What is this social pressure BS that you're talking about?
What? Just one.
Can I answer something
Yeah.
you just said? This would be interesting.
I can't
because
wait.
you said.
But can you answer that question, then ask?
No, before.
Oh, of
the
course.
1940s.
Of course, you gotta ask me a question
Because
before you
listen,
answer
I'm
mine.
listening. I'm listening to you. You asked the question at the end. If you would have asked it at the beginning, possibly I might have been able to
Facts.
address it. But let me address this point.
Okay.
Facts. Right. Let's point out the tactic that he's just trying to use, right? You get off a bunch of stuff in your diatribe, and then because you don't want somebody to respond to it, you ask them a question at the end. That way their mind is forced to go to that question, and they don't get to think about the rebuttal. You see, CGA caught that. Right? He caught it. He's like, let me respond to something that you said. He's like, no, answer my question first. He's like, no. I'm going to do this first. You know why? Because you tried to ask the question at the end to distract me, and I'm not going to let it happen. You see? We're on that.
You said the 1940s and 1950s with this imaginary Sky Daddy controlling marriages. That sounds like enforcement because by the time the 1970s came around, the very first chance women got to file a no-fault divorce without need for evidence, without need to have a private investigator to prove an affair.
Was no fault the 70s?
Yes, it was the 70s, started by Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
I'll educate you.
But hang on.
Came along.
That's irrelevant. Stop trying to distract from the point. You're not slick.
Hold on for a second. No.
You're not
I got
slick.
the floor here. I got the
You're
floor.
not slick.
So you said the religious institutions governed it and made it great. The 1970s came along, and as soon as they did, women started to file divorces at record rates, which is back to my conversation. Soon as you remove the authority of Sky Daddy, now you're back with the state. And now you have difficulty, and now the risk is now greater.
Oh.
So that's the issue that
Then
you
it
have.
sounds like men should be moving towards Sky Daddy then, because it mitigates their risk.
The courts, the nation should be
There's
moving
no
towards
courts.
that. But how do you enforce that?
What courts?
Your
You're not getting a marriage from the state. What courts are involved here?
Everything you told me is a make-believe scenario.
How? You can
You're
do it
telling-
right now. How is it make believe?
How do you do that when people,
Here's
the
what you
marriages
do.
through state?
Yeah.
I know, you want to go
I'll
back
tell
to
you how.
ecclesiastics. This
No,
is
I'm
going to be
telling
a
you, you can do
problem.
it right
Okay.
this second.
Okay.
You
can
can go do it right now.
You can do it at this particular
can't
point.
do.
However,
What do you mean?
Here's the problem.
Okay.
Can you get men to do it?
Yes.
And after this, we're going to find out if Andrew actually lives like this in his regular life.
Hey, you might be able to think you can get men to do it, but as soon as they do it, I want you to stick around for the average of 8 to 10 years when these men start getting divorced. See, what you're doing is you're leading.
We've
men,
been watching
hold on
it for
a second.
longer.
You're going to lead men into a burning building.
Oh.
And the reason why, and this is a famous quote by Martin Luther King, is because the laws of integration didn't catch up fast enough for what he wanted for people to integrate. And what happened was it took him 12 to 15 years to realize that he led men or black people into a burning building in which integration was not possible at the time.
Okay.
You are also proposing the same thing. And I would like for you to stick around to see the results of what you're proposing, because eventually you would have to pay the price. How did Martin Luther King pay the price? You would have to pay the price for the men that you misled.
So Martin Luther misled men, and that's why he was killed?
I said he misled black people. You missed that part.
Those
He said,
right.
okay, let me repeat it because
Yeah.
you're slow.
I
All right,
am,
you
you're
definitely
right.
are slow, Neanderthal.
That's for sure.
Let me tell you something.
I'm dragging
Martin
knuckles
Luther
over.
King said
Mad slow.
specifically.
You see, he does this to other people. He's like, listen, if you don't get it, that just means you're slow, buddy. All right, that's all that means.
Related to black people and civil rights,
Yeah.
I'll speak slowly for you,
Yeah.
that he believed at the end, he led them into a burning building. I'm going to speak slower. The
Okay.
reason why is because the laws of integration
Yeah.
did not catch up with what he would like to present. Black people weren't ready to integrate. As a result, he said, I may have led my people, that means his people, into a burning building.
Okay.
I would like for you, under your scenario, if your movement takes off,
Yeah.
to see the results, because it took Martin Luther King 12, 15 years to see the
Okay,
results
I understand
of
now.
his efforts.
Yeah.
You're proposing something very extreme that majority of people aren't going to do. But let's just say because you like to hide in the clouds of make-believe, if
They did.
this works,
Right.
I would love to see you represent these men in a divorce when they get their head bit off by these so-called women that are forced by Sky Daddy to stay in these marriages.
This is really like I don't even understand how
You
to.
don't understand. I know you have a hard time
I
understanding.
do. I don't actually even understand how to respond to a lot of this because it's so incoherent. But I'm going to try
Yeah,
anyway.
no. It's just because you're an idiot, Andrew. All right, you're not fooling me. Well, you're just so incoherent. Yeah, all right.
This is
So
I
let's
think
start-
this is his always incoherent when he understands. Perhaps you don't
This-
understand.
this isn't-
That might be what it is, and
Yeah.
it's okay to say you don't understand, and I can speak slowly for
I
you.
don't understand now, but I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to
Of
tell you
course,
why.
dismissive. I mean, you know.
I'm going to tell you why.
It's okay. When you're losing, just say you're losing, and I can speak
Let
for
me
you
know
a
when I
little
can
bit.
talk
Right.
and you gas
Facts.
out.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Facts.
So
Yeah,
here's
typical tactic, but you
here's-
can work that against these
Okay, so I still
OnlyFans
can't
girls.
talk.
Hey,
Go
listen,
ahead.
you can work that tactic against those OnlyFans girls that you debate, debating 23-year-old ignorant women.
They're smarter than you.
But now
They're
you're sitting
smarter than
across
you.
from a person.
They're always smarter than you.
Yeah, you're sitting across from a person here.
Oh, no.
That's looking at a Neanderthal, say you don't understand something very
Well, let
simple.
me know when he gas out
This
so
is
I
the
can respond.
simplest thing that you can understand.
Okay.
Your go. Your go.
Are you sure?
Please.
I can actually do it this
and
time?
please, put me to sleep. please.
Okay, so
Put me to sleep.
here's why it's incoherent, and there's a bunch of this.
Getting cooked, Andrew. I don't care what you guys say. Andrew's getting cooked. He's very uncomfortable right now. He usually does this to other people. Not today.
Understand? You keep on saying that these men are going to get divorced, and yet I'm proposing non-state marriages. How are they going to get divorced? Well, you can only say this
What's good, Trip?
and via common law. But again, you have no defense yourself against
These are if scenarios.
I don't-
mean, come
I
on,
don't-
man. Please,
I
you
don't-
said I was going to debate somebody
This
that's going
is-
to come.
Why do you
this
keep
is an if
filibustering?
scenario.
I
Give
let
me
you
a real
speak.
scenario,
I let you
please.
speak the entire time.
Give me something to speak about.
Okay,
You're giving
I'm
me
not
if
asking you to
scenario.
speak. I'm
You're
asking
trying
you
to
to
invite
listen.
me to your church.
I'm just
I'm not going to
asking
your
you
church.
to
Please
listen.
give me a real scenario.
You have to shut up long enough for me to
Come
do
on,
it.
please.
Look at how frustrated. And isn't this crazy? Andrew being this frustrated, getting cut off. I'm like, I don't even have to debate him anymore. Like, for real. I wouldn't debate him, honestly, after what we're about to watch after this.
I've been here.
Just
I'm not going to
asking
your
you-
church.
Look at
Please
this.
give me a real scenario.
You have to shut up long enough for me to
Come
do
on,
it.
please. I've been here 30 minutes waiting for you to do it.
All right.
Give me a real scenario.
Okay, so what I don't understand here, again, and I'm going to ask again, in your incoherent worldview,
Okay, please.
you keep on saying that these men who I propose this to are going to get divorced. But I'm not proposing that they get married through the state. The state's the one who does the divorces. So if the only thing you could say is that there's a potential for common law here. But that's something you yourself cannot guard them from by your own admission. The second problem that we have here is that I don't have to stick around for 10 or 15 years because we can look at the numbers right now in religious marriage for what this looks like. And here's what this looks like. If you're a Catholic, you're way less likely to get divorced. And if you're Orthodox, even less.
I just want to get to the part where he says that we all need to marry virgins and then we'll move on, all right? I just want to get to that part where he's like, well, I mean, you know, if you marry a virgin, you have
likely to get divorced. And it's because of that ecclesiastical structure. You're not ever going to be able to prevent all risk from divorce, not under anything.
Thank you, God. That's the most realistic
not
thing
under
you've said
any,
all day.
But not under any system
Correct.
is that going to be the case.
But
And
why
even-
are Catholics getting divorced?
And you
How
don't
do
even
they get
want to. They get annulments. They don't even get divorces.
Okay,
and it's
but how
a
does it
really long
so
process, and it's rare.
Christians have a similar divorce rate than the secular.
No.
So they have a very close. So how do they get divorced?
I'm going to
How do
explain.
Christians get divorced?
I'll answer
Please,
your question.
please tell me, because I know how to get divorced.
if
Right
you
in the
say-
divorce court.
Yeah, I know. So because they call it a state marriage.
Right.
It don't
Yeah,
matter
and
if
I'm
they got a
proposing that
state
they
marriage.
Don't do that, right?
Okay, a land of make
It don't matter if they get a state marriage or not. You can still go to divorce court, Andrew. Look at how frustrated he's getting, and he's getting cooked. Look.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm proposing that they don't do that, right?
Okay, a land of make believe.
How's that a land of make believe? You can go fucking do it right now.
Please tell me what
are you
percent-
talking
listen,
about?
I will be clowning the shit out of Andrew. Oh, my God. Let me
Percentage of
stop.
people do this particular thing that you're doing, that you're proposing.
Why
What
would that
percent-
matter? Let's say
Why
it's
does it
one
matter?
person.
Okay,
Why would that
okay,
matter?
It's one person. So you're taking a very small chance. You're arguing against me that has millions of people.
He says, why does that matter, right? If you show me one good example of a marriage happening, you cannot then extrapolate that onto the rest of society. It makes no sense.
on my
who
side.
are getting
and
divorced and
millions-
you don't want
But you're
them to.
telling me a small 20 people in a little house on the prairie
Yeah.
that do these, that you govern people without electricity
Okay.
and you riding horse and carriages.
Hey.
You're telling me this small percentage?
Exactly, Trip. I think Trip is watching from the beginning, but he says our new talking point should be biggest problem in the white community. That's what we're going to start all of our sentences with. You know what the biggest problem in the white community is? Yeah, imagine us talking like that.
The people are going to lead a movement of doing something you're proposing here on YouTube. This is going. How many people are doing this?
Okay. Why
How
would
many
that
people-
matter?
It would matter because
Why?
then we can use some data to determine, do these people end up in divorce?
Well, we can
more
do it.
than likely.
This is great
Please
because
do.
we can look at the data. So
I
let's
would
look
love
at.
to, please.
Do you want to look at the Catholic data and Orthodox
No,
data
no, no,
for
no, no.
marriage?
We're talking about your ecclesiastic proposal.
That
That's what
is
we're
the
talking about.
this is the
Okay.
ecclesiastical
If we're
proposal.
using Catholic and Christians, their divorce rate tends to be very
No.
close. It's,
I'll look it up.
It's very close. Let's go
Not
ahead and look it
Catholic.
up. Hold on for a second.
Self-ID'd Christians.
Okay,
Self-ID'd Christians.
Okay.
Self-ID.
Self-ID. No, let's just put Christians.
Christian.
He's like,
Christian and
he
Catholic.
likes
You have to
dice
define-
up-
you have
he
to tell
likes
me what a
di-
Christian
He likes to
is.
dice up all of these
It's
people. And listen,
important.
listen. I would love to go to your church one day. I would
Okay.
be a wonderful guest, and I would love to thump the Bible, and I would love to say a prayer with you. However, this conversation is entering into
we pull up my screen?
very much a Sky Daddy conversation, which
All right, we got
again, it's about belief.
Brought up Sky Daddy. You.
It's, you.
Yo,
See, this is like me talking to Ibby on TikTok. He's like, listen, bro, I got it. You're religious. Let's move on now, all right? Or else I'm done with the
You brought it
convo.
up
We
about
got the divorce rates
ecclesiastic
pulled up right
marriage.
here.
That's not
You
has.
brought that up.
What is that?
So
That's,
that is a religious
if
argument.
you're an
which more
atheist, you
people
should
in
be able
religion-
to
Okay, listen,
contend with
listen.
that.
A lot of people would not want to do that. You're telling me a small percentage
Who
of people are going to
cares?
do this.
We're talking about mitigating the rates of divorce. It
now,
doesn't matter how many
can
do
we
it.
move forward from this one? We agree to disagree.
No, we
Can
don't agree to disagree. I
Okay, so
need
you want to keep it here in
counter-arguments.
your land of make a
I want
make-believe.
counter-arguments.
No, I'm not going to argue in your land of make believe.
Yeah, because you can't. You have no counter
Because it's
arguments.
ridiculous.
You
It's
don't have
ridiculous.
one counter argument.
Here's a counter argument.
Okay, what is it?
There's no God in marriage. How many times do I have to say that?
That's an
If you
assertion.
end
It's
up-
not an argument.
If you end up in divorce court,
That's not an assertion.
God doesn't matter. None of
Right.
this matters.
When you're in divorce court, you could be like, but God said we have to stay together. Judge's gonna be like, oh, word, lock him up.
That's real. That's the realest argument that you can possibly hear. Soon as
How do you end up in a divorce court without the state?
Hold on for a second. Hold
How?
on for a second. Hold on for a second. I'm going to tell you how.
Okay.
In the 1940s, which you so love, I don't know why you don't live there. You look like you live there. You're dressed like you live there.
They
Here's
wore
the problem.
hoodies and
Hold on for a
jeans in the
second.
40s,
Hold
did
on
they?
for a second. Here's the problem.
Okay.
These people, under your authoritative, godly marriage,
Yeah.
still got divorced at high rates.
No, they
Once
didn't.
no fault divorce showed up, it started at 25%. Then by the time you get here, it's close to 40 and 50%. It's still prevalent. I'm giving you the reality
That's
here.
not the
You're
reality.
trying to drag me
Yeah,
back.
his point is if it was so good in the 1940s, think about it. If it was so good, why did women run from marriage so fast? Right? As soon as 1970 came, they all got divorced. Why? If it was so good, Andrew? Huh? The church was still there? Did the church go somewhere? The church didn't go anywhere, Andrew. It's still there. And they still got divorced. That's his point.
Back over here to Little House on the Prairie. It's not working. It's not going to work with me. How about this?
not the
You're
reality.
trying to drag me back over here to Little House on the Prairie. It's not working. It's not going to work with me. How about this?
How about a counter argument?
If
Can I get
traditional
one of
marriage,
those?
I gave you one.
What?
I mean, come on, man.
What is the
Come on,
counter
man.
argument? Come on, man. It's not a
listen,
counter
listen.
argument. What's the counter argument?
There's no God in marriage, and divorce
That's an
court,
assertion, not
there's
an
no
argument.
God in divorce court.
That's not an
I assert
argument.
That there's no
Okay, well,
God
there
in
is a God in
divorce
divorce court. Argument defeated.
Exactly.
Argument
Yeah.
defeated.
Oh my God.
See, you see how terrible, and look at how Andrew is exposing himself right now. All right, I apologize for ever saying he was a good
I
debater.
argument.
assert that there's no
Okay, well,
God
there
in
is a
divorce
God
court.
in divorce court. Argument defeated.
Exactly.
Argument
yeah.
defeated.
Oh my goodness,
It's
boy!
so
All right, did you
silly.
leave your sandbox outside? Did you miss your toys?
It's just
Did you not get a
ridiculous.
nap?
Like,
Here's a
I
problem.
want an argument,
This is the
dude.
absolute argument.
Okay.
You're trying
Right.
to drag me to church. I'm taking you outside the church. You can't combat it because you want to battle inside the church. I'm not letting you. So let's get back.
Listen, if you go read those comments under that NTR video, they're like, oh, CGA was so emotional. Oh my God. CGA is the one that's being emotional? Not even close. He's cooking the shit out, Andrew. He really is.
To the
I don't
state.
care secularists get married.
Let's get back to the state
What do you mean?
and that divorce rate. Did you find out the numbers?
yeah, I pulled it up earlier, but I'll pull it up again. It's up on the screen. Can you guys see this? Catholic, 19-25%. Mainline Protestant, 30.
Look, national average, 33%. Evangelical Protestant, 33%. What do you know? Catholic, 25%. Oh, slightly better. So dumb.
35%.
Look, mainline Protestant, the average is higher. Mainline Protestant, the national average is higher. 35% divorce rate in mainline Protestant. Well, I mean, what are we talking about?
Evangelical, 26-33.
It's the
That's up there.
same.
Now, pull up
That's up there.
Orthodox.
40,
Orthodox.
Look,
33.
you see that? Look, they're all the same. Non-religious, unaffiliated, 40. National average, 33. Evangelical, 33. Mainline Protestant, 35. Catholic 25. It's not that far off, Andrew. You're talking about saving 1 or 2 extra people by being more religious, and nobody's even going to do that.
34, 30, that's pretty high.
Pretty high.
Orthodox divorce rates.
He was right.
Let's see.
17 to 20.
I see average 33%.
That's
U.S.
U.S.
average.
That's
All
Evangelical
adults.
Protestants did that. That's with the
It says-
Right, look, Orthodox Christian adults. Think about how many, he's like talking about going back to being Amish. He's like, yeah, but how about the Amish? The Amish never get divorced, so we should all be Amish now.
Orthodox
all of
adults
them.
ever divorced 17 to 20. U.S.
Yes.
adult average 33%.
Yeah, so they're much lower.
It says in the U.S. 33%. The
They're
Orthodox ever divorced, that's worldwide.
Yeah, they're much lower rates.
Okay, but
It's
you're
not-
saying that
no.
they can't get divorced. That's what you said.
No, bro.
You said, is that what you said?
The whole
You
point
said
here
they
is
can't
how
get
do we
divorced because you're
mitigate the
enforcing
risk
them.
of divorce? You can't ever completely mitigate
30%.
it. It can't ever be completely mitigated, but you can mitigate the risk of divorce.
Right, so he's like, even the people who are doing what you're saying, still at a 20%, and think about it, we're talking about a very small subject of just the evangelical Christians. Most Christians, the divorce rate is still the same. So how is that the answer?
Okay, great.
It is lower. They're
Much
saying
It's
lower, much lower.
Okay, all right, so a chance of getting hit 30% versus 44%. This doesn't defeat the argument. Those
It does defeat
divorces,
the argument.
Those
No, it
divorces
does
happen
not.
in the court of law because no divorce cannot
That's
be
right.
reported in
So
that's
this is
not in the
great.
court of law.
Actually,
so what is the divorce
yeah.
that happens outside of the court of law? If it's 33% in the court of law with your Orthodox,
Ah, that's right. He did say that. He got you right there. CGA said, don't forget, you said that these divorces get annulled. I mean, these marriages get annulled. They don't get divorces. So he's like, so there's still a good percentage of them that are added there where they get annulled. Right? So it probably is right around that 30%. If 20% are still going to the court, come on now.
ecclesiastic marriage, what is it outside?
Even
What is
lower.
it within that?
It's even lower.
Okay, so add that 10%.
Yeah.
Add that.
Now we're at 40%.
No, you wouldn't add
Whatever.
that.
Right.
You wouldn't add 10%.
That's the legal.
No, yes, you would. No, you add that percentage because there's an extra 10% that are still getting separated, but they're getting separated outside of the court. 30%. There you go. It's the exact same.
What are you
Divorce-
talking
hold on for a
about?
second. When you say a divorce,
Andrew's an idiot. He doesn't even understand this.
those are
He's an idiot and he's ugly. I mean, there should be no greater shame.
reported divorces legally. That means these people filed in the legal reported system. That's 30+%. Okay, you said there would be more that were outside of the
No, less.
outside of the state.
Less.
No, hold on for a second.
No, he doesn't understand.
There's
Dude.
additional outside of the marriage, outside of the state.
No.
Oh, there's none.
Well,
So you're
no,
saying
no,
there's zero?
Not really.
What are you saying?
See, he's an idiot, dude. Like,
Okay, so let me explain.
Please,
how could you debate with idiots like this, bro? I'm sorry. I would just have to just.
That you understand.
additional to the
Yeah,
33%.
but you have to. Can you at least let me finish this time?
Please do it because
Maybe.
you're slow.
So if it's the case you're in an ecclesiastical marriage, you're still adding usually the state. These people are all adding the state, okay? The Catholics themselves, if you were to look at their annulments rate from the ecclesiastical authority, it's actually much lower than even the percentage that you're getting from the state because they add the state in, which means
I know that's his.
some people will ignore the ecclesiastical authority and get divorced anyway.
That's his point.
That's exactly what I've been telling you.
That's his
Dean.
Nobody
point. Andrew is so. I'm like, bro, this is it. This is it, bro. I'm like, this is.
We argued that.
Exactly. But so
We're
how do
arguing
you
about
mitigate? You're saying
mitigating the risk. Mitigating
Seems
the
like there's
risk.
Still a risk.
No, it would mitigate the risk.
So the risk is slightly lower.
Much lower.
Okay, that's not that much lower.
It's
The
much
divorce rate
lower.
is 40%. You're talking about 33% to 43%.
No, we're not. We're talking about 20% to 35 to 40%.
Okay, so
Not-
that's lower.
Yes.
Not if you add the annulments.
Okay, that's all you got. Now, here's
That's
the
all I
problem.
need.
That's not all you need because there's still risk. How do you say
Nobody said there wouldn't be risk.
Exactly.
You
So
can't
at this
mitigate
particular
risk
point-
for anything 100%. It's not possible.
Exactly.
All right, so stop acting like the church is going to get rid of that risk. It's not going to get rid of it. That's his point.
So now why are we telling men to get married? at that
Because you
particular
have
point?
to, because everything is a cost-benefit analysis. Your issue is not marriage. Your issue is with mitigating
At
the risk.
this point, it's not marriage.
It's
This is the only.
mitigating-
Hold on for a second. Can I say this?
Oh my God.
You're,
Can you
hold
ever
on for a
stop
second.
saying something so I
Come
can
on,
say
listen.
something?
No.
At this particular point,
No.
listen.
Okay, I'm
no.
listening.
Keep shutting him down.
Telling me from this point, we haven't even got to the entire marriage because you're still over in the land of make believe. We haven't even got to the other issues
What's
of marriage.
make-believe?
Hold on for a second. We still haven't got to the other issues of marriage.
I'm willing to
so
get to
you're
everything.
telling me about the mitigation risk, and we've wasted too much time on it. Can we talk about the other issues of marriage?
Well,
Which
okay.
are sexless marriage.
Can we at least wrap this up?
Yeah,
real
let
quick?
Andrew finalize this, and then
Yeah,
we'll move on
so
to that.
the thing is like, the problem is you said it was a great institution. If you say it's a great institution, even when it was a great institution, people were still getting divorced. So if that's the case, what you're really after is just mitigating risk. And I'm giving you a perfect way to mitigate risk. right? And the fact of the matter is that it is becoming more and more popular to do it this way. Prenup plus ecclesiastical authority almost mitigates your risk entirely, except for common law, but you can pick the state to live in for that. And you, by your own logic, can't defer from common law either. You can't protect men from that. So the thing is like, you can't have it both ways. You can't agree, marriage
Yes, you can. Do not cohabitate. That's how you fix that.
is good and the backbone for the West, and you really like it, and it's fucking great, and it's a great institution, but also don't do it because it's make-believe that you can mitigate risk, even though you can right this second. That's insane.
Listen,
All right, final
I'm
point.
listening.
final point. Let's get to the other risks that are associated with it. We got that.
That's
we
not a
tackled
final
that
point on this.
That is
Make the final point and then
listen,
go to
listen. I'm a grown man. I'm not 22-year-old OnlyFans. I'm going to say what I want to say. Listen to this. At this particular point,
You got
we're
me
moving
on that
forward.
one.
Listen, we're moving forward.
Okay, we're moving
At
forward.
this point, what are the other risks that
Grown man shit. I'm done with this convo, Andrew, all right? I'm not gonna go back and forth with you all day like an idiot about whether or not you can get rid of 10% of marriage or not. All right, we're moving on. Well, you can, Andrew, we're moving on. That's that.
we want to guard against? We got the divorce. You're going to put them on the ecclesiastic paperwork. Less people are doing that. Not a lot of people know how to do it. He just got married. He didn't do it. All right, I can almost guarantee.
Probably not.
Exactly.
So what?
So now,
Right. Yeah, and Andrew, neither did you. You're married with the state multiple times.
less people are going to do this. Not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of men are going to
So it
prepare
sounds like we
themselves to
should
do
try to
that.
change that, huh?
Exactly. So that would be
I
a
agree.
very tough
We should
scenario,
try to
and
change it.
most likely it's not going to happen moving forward.
Okay.
There are other issues in marriage
Okay, let's
that
get to 'em.
typically, if depending on what authority you go under, are still a risk for men. Yes, it's great for the backbone, but a lot of men are in sexless marriages. A lot of women are in sexless marriages. The percentage of affairs in marriages are still a big issue. That can't be addressed. Those risks are
Right, think about it. He's like, we haven't even got to all this other stuff.
going to be tough. And now you have an issue because now that can't be addressed. Those risks are going to be tough. And now you have an issue because now whoever's your authority has to mitigate that risk. Now all of a sudden they have to govern or socially pressure the women, and that's going to be difficult to do. 20%, 30% of sexless marriages, 20, 30% of people having affairs. This is not the intent of people who get married. So yes, we have the divorce. We set that aside. Now, what about within the marriage? How do you mitigate the risk for that? I'm assuming you're going to have the ecclesiastic come through the home and force the wives to fuck their husbands.
Oh, that's quite the straw man. But
I'm assuming.
I'll go ahead and answer. Actually, the ecclesiastical authority does mitigate against this, and here's my proofs. Proof one: if it is the case that you get married to a woman who's a virgin, but she's a virgin because she's a Christian, hang on, let me get through the entirety of the arguments before you start freaking out. If it is the case,
Virgins.
your chances of that marriage ending, very, very, very small, one. And two, they report
Virgins, dog, virgins. He's like, well, if you really want to mitigate risk, then why don't you go marry a virgin?
that they have a happier sex life. This is actually the case with
This
decrease
is
in body count, and if it is the
crazy.
case,
Virgins.
your chance
This
of the
is-
case that you get married to a woman who's a virgin, but she's a virgin because she's a Christian. Hang on, let me get through the entirety of the arguments before you start freaking out. If it is the case,
Virgins.
your chances of that marriage ending, very, very, very small, one. And two, they report that they have a happier sex life. This is actually the case with the decrease in body count, which generally comes with the more religious people, meaning the more that you take your religion seriously, the more that you pray, the more that you engage in that whole ecclesiastical authority thing, the less likely it is you
This is such nonsense.
step out of your marriage, significantly less likely. The less likely
How many people are virgins when they get married? That's like 0% of the population.
it is that you end up in a sexless marriage. You know why? Because there's a reinforcement in Christianity that men and women are not allowed to deprive each other of that, of sex, when it comes to marriage. And you find that people who follow the traditional faith generally don't. And so, yes, the ecclesiastical authority preaches that from the pulpit. Sorry, lady, you gotta fuck your husband. That's part of God's law. Yeah. What do you got for him? Go out and just fuck everybody? What is?
Men are the problem, and this is the proof. I get it now. I get it. I see why women react the way that they do when they hear this dumb shit. This is ridiculous. The pastors are going to preach from the pulpit, women, fuck your husbands. I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think I can listen. I don't. Yeah, I don't think I can. I want to hear. I don't. Jesus Christ! Did he get rid of that stream? Dang, that's crazy. Dang it! I knew I should have saved it. Dang it! I was gonna play the beginning of this stream, where CGA was basically saying the same thing that I was saying, how men are the problem. Like we were both literally saying the exact same thing because he was looking at all the comments from the debate. It's not this one, huh?
Come in, check in, coach.
Dang it. I can't believe you deleted that thing, CGA. All right, fine. Dang, did he delete that? Oh, you know what? They might have flagged him for that. That's crazy. Now I'm gonna have to find the actual. I'm gonna have to find the actual video that he was looking at. That's crazy. Dang, that's crazy that Andrew flagged his thing. That's the only reason why I could see him deleting it. Like, why else would he delete that? Dang, so they really got upset. You know what? See, that's why we have to do this now. And that's why we have to do this. Let's hear this response real quick.
But he would probably.
This is Andrew's response after the debate.
Which form of marriage is going to give you the best outcomes?
This is Andrew trying to do damage control. I'm gonna find the video real quick that I was gonna watch because I guess they flagged CGA for going through Andrew Wilson's history. And that's, like I said, this is that CIA shit that Tripp was talking about. Because when CGA was going through Andrew Wilson's history, bro, his stream kept going up and down, like his screen kept blacking out, all type of stuff was going on. And then just the fact that Andrew was out here pushing this religion shit so hard when he doesn't live it, I'm like, you know what? I think Tripp was right. Because this is way worse than I thought. Give me a second. I got to find this other video.
Which form of marriage is going to give you the best outcomes to mitigate disaster? It's very clear that since Orthodox marriage, 9% divorce, Catholic marriage is, I've seen as low as 18%, depending on the Pew study, as high as 21 or 23%. It's still your best bet out of all of them. And if you agree, and Coach Dipsh did, that marriage has all sorts of benefits for men, and you want to engage in those benefits, then don't you want to go for the thing that mitigates the most amount of risk? Answer, yes. Simple. His audience, and I'm just going to point this out to all of you who might be here right now, who are Coach Dipsh's audience. That guy is one of the dumbest fucking people that I've ever sat across from and debated, bar none. And I have no expectation that anybody who's following him is any different.
Damn. I did a debate analysis commentary video a couple of days ago, and this was of the Digital Social Hour podcast that hosted the two men that we're going to speak about here today, one being Coach Greg Adams and the other being Andrew Wilson. Now, their debate was, is marriage worth it? Coach Greg Adams is on the side of no, it is not worth it, whereas Andrew Wilson is on the side of yes, it is worth it. The debate itself was about 2 hours in length. We only went over about 20 or so minutes of it. I'll leave a link to this video down in the description box down below. It was a very popular video, and I think that you guys really appreciated the breakdown of their two different arguments, albeit diametrically opposed arguments. Nevertheless, I have not seen much of a response from Coach Greg Adams in terms of how he felt that he fared during the debate, but I have seen a response a couple of minutes ago of Andrew Wilson, and Andrew Wilson is absolutely popping off, and he apparently is very angry.
Oh no, Coach Greg Adams responded, but they deleted his responses. Now I got to respond for him now. What the heck?
Totality of the debate, and specifically Coach Greg Adams' intelligence during the debate. So I want to go over his comments and continue to break this down. Without further ado,
Super Chats basically focus on one thing. They want to talk shit about you and CGA. So here's a question for Andrew. Big reason why the red pill doesn't give prescriptions is because we would feel morally responsible. And then this is continued. Is the church willing to take responsibility for the men who fail 10% of the time? Things like help him get a new wife financially, etc. If the church had a MOA, like Mike's MOA, to help, most dudes would marry.
You know, this question is so easily answered. Yes, of course. Men find solace in the church and the community of the church, and they help them through all sorts of moral crisis and financial crisis. Why is this news to you, chatter? Are you fucking stupid? This has been ongoing from the community of the church since the dawn of time. The entirety of the church is designed to assist you through crisis. What are you talking about?
I got another one.
Will they take responsibility? They're the only ones who take responsibility. You know what red pillars don't do? They don't take responsibility for the mass promiscuity that they promote, like Coach CG Dumbass, who put out a tweet saying, go ahead and fuck hookers how's that kind of degeneracy going to help us win the culture war here? How's that kind of degeneracy going to bring down the same single moms he says not to marry? How's that going to help that? It's not. How's it going to help with male STDs? It's not. How's it going to help men not commit suicide? It's not going to do any of those things. The guy is fucking stupid, and you people talk like it's like you can't follow a debate.
Oh, but they got you on this one. Are non-state recognized unions subject to the family court? Does palimony exist? If the answers to any of these questions is yes, then Andrew was factually wrong when debating CGA.
No, not only was I not factually wrong, I pointed out that there was only certain states where that was correct. It was pulled up in fact check, and I was right because I'm always right.
Andrew made an absolute claim that non-state recognized unions can't end up in family court, aka divorce court. Also, he has a marriage contract himself.
Yes, but so do you think, like, for instance, out of all the men who are in here, I probably have the most robust.
Buddy has a marriage contract himself while he's trying to debate for having no marriage contracts. Ooh, wait till I find
belly. But do you think that if I point out that another guy is fat, that means because I also am fat, that I can't point that out? It doesn't matter if I have a marriage contract. I can still point out flaws in marriage contracts as no bearing whatsoever on an argument.
Yeah,
you, chatter, are fucking stupid. And much like Coach Dipshit can't follow a coherent argument. Just follow the argument. That's all I ask. I mean, the argument was simple. The argument that I was making is if you're inclined to get married, right? Remember the topic is marriage in the West, not divorce in the West. If you're inclined to be.
I found it. Sorry. I forgot CGA has 2 accounts. So I was looking on the wrong account. Woo! I got nervous.
Apparently, Tree, and her name is Just Tree. Just Tree is
Yeah, let's you know what, before we do this though, all right, before we do this, I did want to get a little bit of CGA's live when he was talking about this, because me and him were saying the same thing basically, just how like we're discussing with the men's reaction to this. Because a lot of men saw this debate and instead of understanding and trying to even come back with some logical points, they just all crashed out.
but not no ecclesiastic virgin.
No, this is not even the right live. It's not the right one. Where is it? Oh, this one. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
What's going on, everybody? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube
What's good, Gonzo? It's been a minute, my brother. How you doing?
live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang.
And that's you.
For being in here, being involved, and being active on this YouTube channel. And welcome back to the Boss Up Show, part of the Free Agent Lifestyle podcast here on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. You in here with the villain. New. The Bruce Wayne it is Ish, the King of Kings, the King of Content, and the Speaker of Truth, yours truly, the Notorious One. AKA Mr. Coachellini, better known as the Prognosticator, Coach Stradamus. And you're in the Desert Storm bunker with the dirty old man, E.
Oh, absolutely, my brother. Hey, you know me, man. I'm going to be on this thing until the wheels fall off. I've been on TikTok a lot lately because, you know, they really like my debates over there. And, you know, so I've been over there mostly throughout the week. If you hit the Discord, I'll send you the link over there so you can see me more throughout the week debate and stuff.
EWF. That is every woman's fantasy in the whole fucking show. I'm the CEO, Nigga of Fix His Binds LLC, the unbinder, the undebatable, the undisputed best entertainment here on YouTube. You can call me Senor Gregorio Graybeard. The ladies love to call me Mr. Third Leg Greg.
Was just phenomenal.
Also, the man with one throw by hole and now it one Seatologist, the Morpheus of the coon sellout extraordinaire, and everything the internet has been calling me over the last is sitting in front of you. But in case you forget those names, the villain arc. It is CGA, see God Allah, otherwise known as the 14-time demonetized champion of YouTube. The author of the Free Agent Lifestyle, the author of De-Evolution, and the master of the heel turn. New world order. CGA is back in the building. Shout out to the coach. Hey man, listen. A lot of people were talking about me on the internet, and it is about time they finally had the guts to talk about CGA because they've been watching CGA from the clouds. The Mitch ass niggas been watching me from the clouds, and I see these motherfucking hate watching niggas talking about I used to like CGA, but he's over here. Yeah, bitch nigga, you. We spraying raid on these cockroaches and they coming out of nowhere. All right, but they can't help but watch the Notorious One. They over here commenting on my videos talking about I used to watch CGA, but I don't like them no more. Nigga, how you comment on my video when you used to watch me? It sounds like you still watch me. Yeah. But shout out to the Shield. Shout out to the Coach Gang. Shout out to the best entertainment here on YouTube. We back. About fucking time they had the guts to mention my name.
You see why, bro? I'm trying to tell you, we always up. Andrew was never supposed to be CGA. It was never gonna happen. All right, he was always gonna run into a brick wall because.
Hey, but listen, I had the courage to be disliked, and the best thing is not being disliked by women. It's being disliked by bitch ass niggas. The hoe in you. I love it. They want to drag me back to the plantation. Okay,
Tell
it is
him, CGA.
fantastic. All right, I've been waiting for this day.
Tell
I've been
him,
waiting
CGA.
for this day because
That's why I said I had to play this intro because we were incongruent with this feeling.
now these men have revealed what's under their skirts. All right, and they don't like CGA, and I love it. This is a fantastic time. But today's show, we have Jillian Barbary, a TV host. She says she got ruined by her divorce because she had to pay alimony to a Major League Baseball star. All right, most of you guys don't know who Jillian Barbary is. She used to be a flatback supreme. She used to be a flatback supreme, but we're gonna show you what she looks like now. All right, but there she is right there. Where the white women at?
Buddy says she used to be a flatback supreme.
There she is right there in all her flatback splendor list. All right, back in the day of the low rise cut. All right, but she got Jillian Barbary having to pay alimony to a Major League Baseball star. We have the return of Stormy Daniels. All right, where the white women at? Stormy Daniels making her return. We also have a woman who is a divorce lawyer. I've covered her a few times before. She says men are in love, women are in business. She actually didn't say that, but a lot of people have been using my shit across the internet, and they finally have a face to who's been the person, the originator, all right? Because people have just been like, we're gonna watch CGA, but now all of a sudden we're gonna steal his shit and not give him his credit. But now they have to acknowledge me. So they have the knowledge, and everybody's gonna say, who's Coach Greg
well, CGA, let's not forget that O'Shea Duke Jackson accuses you of doing the same thing, though. Let's not forget that.
Adams? I've been introduced to a whole new audience, and it's been a wonderful experience. And we've gained some new people over here. We've gained some new people. We lost some Mitch ass niggas, all right? Well, I've been wanting to lose them, but we've gained a lot of people over here. My subscribers are up, my viewership is up. It's crazy. All right. And it's a wonderful thing because we're looking to build a strong core group of men. See, the average man was never meant to make it. And that's why the average loser male wants to return back to the 1950s, because that's when the average man was able to make it. All right. But today, and as far as history is concerned, in my when the average man to make it. And it's a wonderful thing because we're looking to build a strong core group of men. See, the average man was never meant to make it. And that's why the average loser male wants to return back to the 1950s, because that's when the average man was able to make it. All right, but today, and as far as history is concerned, in my
So that's why Andrew wants to go back to the 1940s? Because he knows that he's
coherent speaking. Okay, as far as history is concerned, the average man was never meant to make it. And that's why you have loser males always trying to go back to the 1950s, because that's when the average man had a chance. All right, but today the average man don't have a chance. That's why we tell you niggas to boss up, all right, or shut the fuck up. My content is not for the average man. It is not for. And if it is for the average man, it is to wake you up. It is to wake you up and shake you up. All right, because the average man ain't winning today. And you better wake up and witness this. And you can cry in your soup all day, but the notorious one is still here. And even if I wasn't here, you'll still be a loser. By the way, I haven't had a chance to watch the entire stream playback of my Monday's debate that everybody's still talking about. But when I talk about it, bitch ass niggas are like, why are you still talking about it? Because everybody's still talking about it. I'm the most talked about man in the manosphere's history at this particular point. All right, taking down I've toppled two giants. All right, I've toppled two of their giants. They sent their assassins to me, and the verbal assassin toppled him. For the people who say he won, I watched the playback and I was dragging that nigga across the floor. All right. I was dragging his ass.
Facts. We just watched it. I'm like, this was a dragging. I know you guys are sensitive and you're upset, but and let me know if my audio is still good. I accidentally adjusted it. All right. But yeah, that was a dragging.
All right. Because I hadn't had a chance to watch it. But one of my homeboys, he was like, somebody did a review. So I was watching the review and I was dragging his ass. You know what was happening? I was bullying him. And they're mad that I was showing bully skills on him. Nobody's ever been able to bully him, and I was bullying him. All right, so that's why you haven't seen any clips of him, because he's used to bullying people, which is ironic. He's used to being the bully. All right, but the bully get bullied. All right, at some particular point, somebody's gonna bully, and I wasn't letting him get his shit off. And I was like, that's why they're calling me emotional. I was like, oh, I see what happened. I wasn't letting him get his bullshit off. All right, I was calling him out on his bullshit. All right, they calling me feminine. Look at him. You know what was happening? You know what's happening? Is I literally was giving him the energy that he usually gives other people. I was not letting him get his shit off. I was dragging him. I was watching the first hour going, I'm dragging that nigga. I'm manhandling him. All right, because he's used to manhandling people with his verbal skills and his knowledge. He's a smart man.
Literally manhandled.
I think he knows what he's talking about. But I was like, damn, this nigga getting drugged. All right. So, and he had nothing else to say, but, oh, this is incoherent. I don't understand. Oh, okay. By the way, we'll talk about what that means later on. If you wish, we'll allow you to vote on it. All right. I'll allow you to vote on it. But what people normally do is when they say they don't understand you, or that's basically gaslighting, and it's a personal attack. All right, it's a personal attack. When you attack somebody when you're having a conversation and you say, "Well, you're incoherent, you're crazy, I don't understand." That's gaslighting. All right, that's more feminine than anything else.
Think about it. How often do I deal with that in my debates? My bad. How often do I deal with that in my debates? They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, you're trying to gaslight me. I'm going to turn it on you and let you know that all that means is that you're dumb.
So when his argument wasn't standing up, and now we know why. All right, now we know why his argument doesn't stand up. And for the people who are supporters, because we have a lot more supporters here of his supporters because they're watching me. All right. He says his channel has posted a clip from Rolo stream, but nothing from the debate. Exactly. Right. Case closed. Where is his clips on the debate with me? He can't have any.
Right. All right. So I just wanted to see that intro, right, on how it's like, listen, our problem in society really is these bitch niggas. I'm sorry, YouTube, but that is the issue. I don't care. That's what I'm listening. Today, I really do apologize. All right, let's go to Andrew's past, all right? Because this right here just shocked me. I mean, this absolutely shocked me. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to make it through this whole video. I'm not gonna lie. Later on in that stream, not only does Coach Greg Adams go through the debate, but he dragged his feet with that. He checks out this video by a pretty well-known creator. What is her name?
Apparently Tree, and her name is Just Tree.
Just Tree, right? So Just Tree, she was one of the first people to start putting out that info about Myron and Fresh being simps and not having sex with Angie and that kind of stuff. I had not seen this video. I had not seen this, but some of the stuff is very troubling. And like I said, Trip, when I see this might make me think that CIA stuff is real. Because if you are pushing this religious stuff, but you really don't live it behind the scenes, why are you doing that? Who's paying you to do this? It really doesn't make any sense. Let's take a look at this.
Tree is and she anti-manosphere. I would say she's an anti-manosphere person. She has compiled a video of the ecclesiastical marriage. All right. And so somebody has presented this to me, and this video has been out for a year. I didn't see it before the debate, but apparently this is going to be an update on the ecclesiastic marriage. All right. We're going to see this. This is one of the reasons why the topic of divorce was avoided. If I said you did something, wait a second here, was avoided during the content. All right. So when we were in the debate, and by the way, the manosphere, this is who y'all supporting this week. This is who I split the manosphere on half on. All right. This is the ecclesiastical marriage that we were proposed with. So we're going to see how good it is, and possibly if this is for you. All right. This is for you. So let's take a listen to what we got.
I'm not gonna lie, some of these parts are about to get real personal and real nasty. So if I fast forward it or if I start rambling too long, please let me know so that way I can move on, because some of this stuff is very triggering. All right. This is the guy that was just trying to talk about the problems in the black community. You know what the biggest issue is in the black community? The problem is divorce. All you got to do is get an ecclesiastical marriage. Let's check out the ecclesiastical marriage.
Here.
Put your money on me, baby. I come with facts, and you're about to see how I get down. So let's go ahead and get started. But before I do, okay, I need to give a big shout out to Thoughts and Players. Let me tell you something. Thoughts and Players is one of the best investigators we have out here, and I am so glad that they were helping me. I feel so sorry because they were with me for 5 hours, and it wasn't until we finished the timeline. We didn't finish the timeline until like 6:15 in the morning. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Look at this right here, right? Look at the entire timeline that it took for us. And by the way, what you're looking at right now, that took 5.5.
Listen, you guys know I don't like to get messy. I do not like to talk about people's personal lives, all right? I really don't. But the statement for today is don't tell a lie about me, and I won't tell the truth about you, all right? So we're going to examine this truth today. I'm sorry you have to sit through this, but this is crazy.
Hours, and we didn't finish until 6:15 in the morning, and that's when I decided to go ahead and put the videos together. So once again, shout out to Thoughts and Players. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for helping me out. I could not have done this without you. So let's begin. So when it comes to Rachel's timeline, we're going to go by Baby Daddy 1, Baby Daddy 2, and Baby Daddy 3. Now we understand that she's been married twice, and I am naming names. So I'm going to put the names with.
All right, so this lady, remember, Andrew just said that his answer is that we should get a virgin, right? That's what he says. Well, if you get a virgin, that's much better. Okay, so his wife has Baby Daddy 1, 2, and 3, and has been married twice? That don't sound like no virgin to me.
with the baby daddies so that you can understand and keep track. Because when Brittany and I just keep saying baby daddy 1, baby daddy 2, it's confusing. These are adults. We will conceal the names of the children, but there's no need for us to conceal the names of the adults. They are public, and basically I'm just going to give the first name and not the last name. So let's talk about the boyfriend, and that's baby daddy number 1, and his name is Chad. Last name starts with H. So they started dating in 1997, and then they moved in together in 1998. In the year 2000, that's when Rachel got pregnant, and she was 20 years old. Don't worry.
Let me stop right there. Chad, the irony, okay?
Hey, yo, chill. Yeah, the irony that her first man's name is Chad. Oh.
Hey, yo. Now, here's my problem with this. This is not even problematic. This is what everybody does. But what everybody doesn't do is play holier than thou and then come attack me and say I'm a degenerate.
That's my whole point, right? Why are you talking about the problems in the black community, right? Oh, well, the problem in the black community is they get divorced too much. Well, the problem in the black community is too much. Dog, your wife has 3 baby daddies. So the problem is that we got too many baby daddies in the black community, but your wife got 3 of them? You can't do that, Andrew. You can't do that. No. You can't do that. You can't be out here talking about we need an ecclesiastical marriage and your wife got 3 baby daddies.
And promoting degeneracy. Okay.
I mean, your wife has just as many baby daddies as any black chick you want to talk about that's out here being degenerate. Where do you get off?
So, this is why things were hidden, and this is why people are protecting certain people. And if I had known this before the debate, I certainly would have just focused on this. All right. I wouldn't even had the conversation about an ecclesiastical divorce. And the arrogance back to me is ridiculous. Okay. The arrogance back to me is crazy.
Not just to you, the arrogance to the entire black community. Oh, I mean, well, see, the biggest problem in the black community is, well, how about the problems in your community? Why does your wife got 3 baby daddies and 2 different husbands?
To be completely arrogant and uppity.
This is about to get way worse. I mean, way worse.
Against me is crazy. I mean, listen, my past is dirty, but I've disclosed most of my dirty secrets. Everybody's got to keep holding on right here. But we got Chad.
I'm going to show the receipts right after I give you the timeline. But I want to give you the timeline, and then I'm going to show you the receipts to back everything I'm saying in the timeline. Okay, so here we go. In the year 2000, that's when Rachel, at the age of 20, she got pregnant. They were not married. They were living together, okay? And that's when she had her first child. She gave...
Not out of wedlock? Oh, see, this is the problem in the white community. I'm just like, you guys know I'm kidding, all right? I know I got a ton of white people that follow me, all right? I don't want to make you guys, I don't want to hurt your guys' feelings, but you know I don't care that much, all right? I love you, but we're making jokes today, all right? You know what the problem in the white community is, Andrew? Too much out of wedlock birth. Look at your wife, all right? Think about it. You're not just out here trying to talk down on women that do this. You're marrying those same women in your community, validating them, while you talk down on it in the black community. Boy,
gave birth to the first child. It's a daughter, and the initials of the first daughter is I. Last name begins with H. And Rachel was 21 years old when that happened. In 2003, that's when Rachel, she was 23 at the time, gave birth to her second daughter. Still not married to Chad. Her and Chad were living together.
See, I just don't get how you marry a woman like this, and then you have the nerve to come down and talk down on the black community. That has to be CIA, right? I mean, who's that dumb? Who is that dumb to where they marry a woman exactly like the women that they're talking down on and then have the nerve to talk down on us?
At the time, and by the year 2003, that's when Chad caught Rachel cheating, and he left her.
Okay, so, man, I mean, listen.
Not cheating? Oh. So the woman that you're married to right now, Andrew, that you are saying you are the model of an ecclesiastic marriage, not only had 2 babies out of wedlock, but also cheated on the guy?
I'm going to let her do the commentary on this one. So this is bad news, man. And listen, I want men. This is just me trying to help men. All right. But men don't want no help. So listen, we make mistakes out here. We make mistakes. But I'm a whole heathen out here. Yes. Clean. I'm a heathen. But this ain't even the half at this particular point. Let's continue here. We got her cheating on Chad.
It's not the half at all. It's not even close. Watch.
So Chad got cheated on.
with the two baby daughters that was, it looked like about a year and a half apart. So she gave birth to IH in 2001 and to JH in 2003. That was the second daughter. All right, so let's go to the receipts. Here is her blog that is on her Patreon. We also have it indexed. We also have it archived. We also have it bookmarked. So I want to show you how I was able to calculate all of this along with thoughts and players. So as you can see, she wrote this on October the 29th, 2021. And as you can see, I highlighted right here where she says, my oldest daughter is 20 years old now.
Oh my God. Shout out Trip in the chat. I see you, my brother. She actually admits all this. Oh.
My youngest daughter is 9. So we just basically did the math on that. Then she says, but I was 20 and had been with my boyfriend for 3 years. That's how I was able to determine how long they were together. So I'm just basically doing math here. And then finally in this paragraph, it reads, the boyfriend I had my first 2 daughters with left me. And then that's when we came to this conclusion right here of in 2003, that's when he left her. And then of course she goes in here. And in this blog is where she talks about the affair. And it's right here on the Wayback Machine. So we go into that. All right. So now let's go into the next timeline of baby daddy number 2. Now, out of all the baby daddies number 2 took the most time. We spent way more time on this person than we did on Chad and Andrew.
I'm just going to say brace yourself for this story. All right? Just brace yourself. All right? I'm not going to focus on the details too much because it is sad, but just take it all in. This is the guy that's trying to tell us that we need to find a virgin.
So let's go over the timeline and we will go over the receipts. So in 2004, Rachel and Brian get married. Now remember, that was just a year apart, okay? Chad left her in 2003 because she was cheating around with Brian. And so Brian was like, oh, that's okay, let's get married. And so a year after Chad leaves her, then Brian and Rachel get married. And then a year after getting married, Rachel gives birth to her first son and her only son. And we're going to use the initials J and J. So his first name begins with a J, last name begins with a J. So we're going to call him JJ. And this is her third child because she had 2 daughters from Chad, and Rachel was 25 years old. So it was important to show how old Rachel was so that she can't say, oh, I had all my kids when I was, in my early 20s. No, that's not true. Okay. So and a year after she gives birth to JJ, Brian files for separation. So this was in 2006. Brian had another Rachel and he separated. He left her. Then Rachel.
Now, the funny thing, the mitigating divorce thing conversation, we already got 2 seeming like divorces from just the woman at this point. And there's 2 divorces here, or at least there was a baby daddy and a divorce. All right, 2 years. None of these relationships lasted 2 years, 2 or 3 years tops.
Reality says she got that friendly. I'm not sure if we're thinking the same thing, Reality, but I was just thinking something similar. I'm like, that must be some.
And it was on to the next one. We just following this.
Turned around and filed child support. That's, I think, about a month later, on June the 23rd. Okay, so they filed child support. And then they had a court hearing on September the 9th. And I'm going to show receipts for all of this, by the way. So on September the 9th, along with kids to once a month.
But here's the interesting thing. When I was talking about this in the debate, he kind of acted like he had no experience with the court. But looking now,
he was literally trying to act like men have no risk by going to court from their child, right? He's like, well, no, I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, yeah, as long as a woman is under the ecclesiastical structure, as long as she's religious, the woman that he married took her dude to child support court. Do you understand? And it's about to get worse.
There is extensive experience with the court between the both of them.
Look, you see this? We're talking about protective orders against each other, restraining orders, fighting over a kid. Right here, his wife, his current wife, fighting over a kid with her ex-husband, trying to keep him from seeing a kid, filing protective orders.
And I'm like, why was this the talking point you leaned on, knowing that this exists? And he knows this video exists. So why are you telling other people otherwise? What I would have done was I would have said, this is what I experienced. This is what I can do better, right? But it sounded like he came on his high horse and was like, no, I've been ecclesiastically Christian. Well, this is what
that's why we have to do this, because he's on his high horse like, well, all you got to do is do it like us. If you're under the orthodoxy, then you won't have to deal with this problem. Sir, your wife is the problem. Your wife is the one that does this to other people. And you married her. And you're out here talking to us about what?
Done for you. And I did this. This is why I have what I have. You should have came with this. You should have led with this. Not the holier than thou. Not the conservative traditional. I would have came and showed, this is what I experienced. This is why I have this wonderful wife that I have now. And, our sins are washed away. We're redeemed. That's what I would have done for my image. But now look at this. All right. So now what we got here is we have the other one, second daddy, baby daddy. Now they're fighting in court, which I said, so they didn't get married ecclesiastically. This should have been a known thing in our debate, but this never came up. Child support, temporary restraining order, temporary custody order, sole custody order.
Look at
He
this.
knew this. And
Look at his wife is suspect number one. She's the one that we're talking about warning guys against because she's the one that does all this. She gets with a guy, she has 2 babies, she cheats on him, gets married, and then they get separated, and then now she's filing protective restraining orders on her child's father.
he acted like he didn't know this. Okay, let's continue.
Will be $616 will be deducted from his payments, from his check. And then
Sorry, I'm going to skip this part because there's a lot of court hearings and this type of thing here. So just know that they fought in court. The second baby daddy and Rachel fought in court for almost 5 years straight. Okay, so from 2006, 2007, there's a service on.
Look at that, all the way to 2011. Brian filed CPO against Rachel for his son. He files a child protective order to take his son from the mom in 2011.
Rachel, 2009, she filed a temporary protection order, which is domestic violence against Brian. It was granted. Then you got filing a sole custody order from the woman, Rachel. Then you have Brian appealing a temporary. The Money Mindset 2025. Here we go.
New world order.
They messing with the stream. We still here.
It got shut down like 3 times while I was watching it. I'm like, why don't they want him to expose it? What is going on?
All right. The mass reporting is happening. All right. The mass reporting is happening. So let me see if we still live here. I'm refreshing my stream. You may have to refresh. You see what's happening. All right. So we still here. All right. But yeah, bro, you see what's happening here. All right. We're good. All right. I see that we're good. All right. It's good on my end. All right, but we might have lost some people here. But look at it. It went over 2,000, just like I thought, just changing the thumbnail. All right, but what I see is a lot of court actions, temporary protection order, filing for sole custody. There's some child support here. So this knows.
Order falsely, by the way, I may add.
Let me skip ahead on this one because we just see a lot of court action for several years. 5 years fighting in the court. 5 years fighting in the court. All right, now we have a final divorce closure in 2011. Let's continue.
5 years old at the time. Then, on February, about a couple of days later, Brian filed for a child protection order against Rachel on behalf of his son because he saw signs of abuse with his child protection. Brian on biological father. By the way, I want to let you guys know, Andrew was nowhere.
All right, let's just be clear, right? You know what?
On this page, he's not listed as the biological father or.
All right, so there has been a tragedy, which again I had no idea. One of these kids died. All right, so this does come up with Tree, and
yeah, let's be clear. So the father filed a protective order on Rachel to take the son away from Rachel because he noticed abuse. He felt like his son was in danger. That son is deceased today.
Again, you know, this kind of reflects maybe possibly why they are the way they are. But this child has died, the one they're fighting for custody here. Unfortunately, this is sad. This is nothing to celebrate. This is a painful experience. So shout out to
Bruh, she fought to keep this man away from his kid, right, for 6 years, right, from 2005 to 2011. He filed a protective order to take the kid away because he felt like the kid was in danger. Turns out the kid was in danger. This is Andrew's wife. Let me calm down. I'm sorry.
the son here. Rest in peace to the son. But all of this fighting back and forth in this family division ended up leading to a situation where this kid was in the custody of one of the parents and the kid was playing around with another kid and he died. So rest in peace to the child there. Nobody wants to have that celebrating that. So I'm going to continue to skip ahead here.
Check me. You can do so. These are public records. I am not using anything that's.
Well, yeah, we're not going to focus on that, but the nerve, right? The nerve for somebody to open their mouth and use the words, the problem in the black community is. When this is their story right here. We're not even done yet.
not public. Everything I'm telling you here is the case number right here. Look right here. This is the case number. This is out of the state of Nevada. This is the 2nd Judiciary District Court. And here you have the date right here. So this is when Rachel filed for child support against Brian. And this is where the order was for him to pay the garnishment and the monthly payments, as I stated earlier.
All right, this is a pretty thorough breakdown. Let's skip ahead because they're going into this type of stuff. This is pretty sad. I mean, I'm pretty sure, this is doable against anybody. But you see what's going on, constant court records, TPOs, temporary restraining orders, and this type of thing here. So we'll skip ahead. That was, okay, no, we're not going to.
Everything that Coach Greg Adams was warning Andrew that men would have to deal with, Andrew has not only been on the giving side, but he is marrying the.
Get that far ahead. We're going to come back to this one.
January the 28th, 2011. And as you can see, this is where I also put it right here, where on January the 28th, Brian files for sole custody of his son, who was 5 years old at the time. And last but not least, here is the case that Brian lost. As you can see, this is a new case number because it's a new case filing. This is where
filed for full custody of his son because he thought his son was, because he knew his son was in danger, did not get it.
he was filing for a temporary protection order on behalf of his son. You can see Brian filing against Rachel, but unfortunately, because he didn't get emergency custody of his son, that was denied. So the child protection order, or the TPO, on behalf of his son was also denied. And now let's move to the final baby daddy, Andrew Wilson. We already.
All right, so we know this. This is.
Oh, we finally made it to Andrew now, right? Think about it. We finally made it. Andrew's like, you need to find a virgin, but this is.
Now, again, like I said, this is not good. This is not good to be portraying one thing and then you're the other. So had I known this going into the debate, which I knew about possibilities that he married a single mother. All right. I didn't know it was a single mother of two different men. I had no idea. I wish I had watched it. I wish somebody had sent me this shit. Somebody sent me this shit because there would be no debate at that particular point. It would have been cooked 20 minutes in because I would have just led with this. All right. But I actually probably would have let him get his ecclesiastical shit out. And then at the second hour led with this. But yeah, he's saying I'm deplorable, dumb, idiotic, stupid. These things, man, I told you it wasn't true. It wasn't true. Because.
Right, like imagine all that. Coach Greg Adams is the dumbest person I've ever debated. I think I understand why you're so upset, Andrew.
It was on their side. I was just calling out the bullshit on his side. And obviously it was bullshit, sadly enough. And somebody said it gets worse. Yes,
look at this.
There's a lot of crazy shit that happens here.
Yeah.
So let's go to him, third baby daddy.
Know his last name, so I really don't have to say Andrew W. But this is baby daddy number 3, Andrew. Let's go through the timeline, and then we will go over the receipts. So in 2009, Rachel gave birth out of wedlock to her 4th child with the initials SW. That is her daughter. That is the daughter that belongs to Andrew. That is the first biological child that belongs to Andrew. Not the first daughter that belongs to Chad. Not the son that belongs to Brian, but this little girl belongs to Andrew. And by the way, Andrew was 25 years old, and Rachel was 29. So Rachel is 4 years older than Andrew.
Yeah, what's good? Trip said he caught up. No, hey, I told you, bro. I'm like, after I saw this, I'm like, okay, all right. Right, and Rachel's 4 years older than Andrew. So the guy that's telling us that we need to marry a virgin is doing this. No, I feel you. Hey, Coach, I feel you. Right, Chad, Brian, Andrew.
Gotcha, bitch.
Right, and the old lady. Think about it. I don't know what reality was talking about, but she might. Rachel might have that fire.
Bruh.
I ain't gonna lie. Rachel might have that fire. She might have that fire, Trip. I ain't gonna lie.
Right before his brainstem developed.
Think about it. She was 29, going into 30. He was 25, and she snatched him up. Woo. She was like, "Oh yeah, get over here."
Traditional marriage.
She said, get over here with my 3 kids. Yeah, I got 3 kids. Come over here and give me a 4th. Very traditional, Andrew. Yeah, ecclesiastics, huh?
This is getting bad, bro. You could have talked to me and pulled me over to the side. Was this supposed to be kayfabe or not? Not kayfabe. We wasn't supposed to break kayfabe. Guys, is this your king? This is who y'all defending?
Is this your king? Yeah, well, no, 100%. That's what I'm saying. I don't have the same outlook as CGA. I don't think that our community is doomed. He does think that, but think about it. Our advice is the same though. Me and CGA are both like, listen, I would suggest you do your own thing and don't cohabitate. I'm just saying, unless you really know who you're dealing with. Huh? I was just saying she was passing it out to, okay, yeah. Yeah, she got that friendly. But hey, it must have been good though. I ain't gonna lie, it must have been good to get this many. Like, come on now. Is that shit there? She had 3 kids and Andrew still married her.
This is who the manosphere sided with. Half the manosphere. This is who you black manosphere people siding with right now. You could do it.
No, she is the real boss. This lady has a book, Trip. You know that? Andrew's wife has a whole book on feminism, and she be out here doing debates like she's not a terrible person. I don't care what you say. She's a terrible person, all right? We're going to get into it.
This is why I got to leave, man. This is why I got to take my ball and go. There's no helping men at this point. Nobody's helping y'all. There's no helping men. I'm not doing this to belittle or ruin Andrew Wilson.
Hey,
what I'm doing is...
Tripp said because she gave him a job. Honestly, she might be his handler. You're right. Yeah, you're right. She might be his handler.
Saying to the men.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, for you to be living this bad, this ugly, and then to be pushing the Christianity shit this hard, like, what are you doing? Talking about black people when your life is this messed up. I mean, fucked up.
Men out here, you have to be careful with who you champion.
Yeah.
Especially against a champion.
Hey, Trip, this might be worse than the McToon furry thing. I'm not gonna lie. When it's all said and done, I think that this Andrew shit is worse than the McToon furry thing. Like, I would be more embarrassed to be associated with somebody like Andrew, who has this background, than somebody like, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Especially against a champion. I was a champion. I was the king of kings. I was the hunted. I was the one that people wanted to make look bad. But come on, man. The manosphere is dead. There's nothing left of it. Once they kick me up out of there and cancel me, that's it. I argue like a woman. Thank you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Again, sign language. There's nobody saying anything about like that. Cool. I argue like a woman. I'm emotional. Whatever, nigga fatigue, whatever you want. It's still not that. It still ain't gonna help you in this situation. What you need to call me is the truth. I'm sorry. That's all. But we're the new world. Okay, we're going to continue this. Let's continue.
Sound traditional to me. Now, 2010, during the month of June, Andrew married a black...
Hey, Tripp said it's not worse because of the kids, but at least we don't know for sure that McToon is actually abused or hurt kids. Andrew has been a part of the abuse of kids, Tripp.
Black woman named Taraka, and I got the
hold on.
The month of June, Andrew married a black woman named Taraka, and I got the month of June, Andrew married a black woman named Taraka.
Hold on. So Andrew was married before too, and actually got a divorce. He was married to a black woman named Taraka. She had to be African. You know, that felt shirt. CGA been dressing crazy. But bro, imagine this. Imagine somebody saying, you know what the problem in the black community is? This dude was married to a black woman and cheated on her with Rachel and divorced her to get married to Rachel. He's contributed in the black divorce. I just can't that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it has to be CIA. It has to be CIA. Like, nobody is this, like, is this terrible of a person, has all this in his background, and then really tries to, I'm holier than thou. You have to be getting money. Like, where do you get the gall?
And I got the
the humanity.
That's interesting. He married a black woman?
Bro, right? Think about it. Reality, this is the craziest origin story I ever heard, bro. You know what I mean? He's a Christian pushing evangelical marriage. His wife at 29 had 3 kids before they got together. He was married to a black woman, and they had a kid out of wedlock. So out of their 4 or 5 kids, 3 of them are out of wedlock. And he says the problem in the black community is that we're not Christian enough. We're not Christian enough? Us. The humanity.
That's interesting.
One more time.
The humanity.
That's interesting. He married a black woman? I did not have that on my bingo card.
Yeah.
I did not have him married to a black woman on my bingo card.
Bruh.
Andrew, you could have told me this, homie.
Bruh.
We could have had the conversation after. See, you could have told me this, bro. Then I would have treated you a little bit differently.
Trip is starting to get it now, right? This reeks of small hat intelligence. Hey, thank you, Trip. You already know that was the moment. I'm like, and he married a black woman? All right, CIA. Yeah, no. You like, that's so weird for you to go from married to a black woman named Tanaka. Not just we talking about Tanaka to a Rachel. Okay, all right.
If we would have had a drink and we could have went over this script, I could have just said, okay, let's fake the debate and keep it moving.
And it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
But, hey, Myron, are you watching, sir? Is Myron here? Myron got to be here. We could have been buddies. Hey, Andrew, we could have been cool behind the scene. We could have been cool. We could have been buddy. We could have went through a script. We could have said, okay, you say this, I say that. All right, but you tried to come at my neck, bro. Balls. You tried to decapitate me. Myron, are you here? Myron, please.
Think about it. I played what Andrew said. CGA is the dumbest person I ever debated. Anybody that watches him is so stupid. Oh, we're so stupid, huh? Oh, the problem in the black community is what, Andrew? Tell us more about the problem in the black community. What's your bitch ass?
Please be here watching this shit. Hey, Fresh, because Fresh watching. Fresh, tell your boy Myron. Tell your boy Myron what he's doing, because I know you can't get a control of him. You don't have control of him. This is crazy, bro. Where we at? Let's continue. All right, get your boy over to watch this shit.
Yeah, we're not done. We're not done.
Men, there must be money going around here. All right, so we got him marrying him impregnating an older
woman.
Did
you hear CGA? There must be money going around here. There must be. He's like, because this doesn't make no sense for this to be his background. No sense.
All right, get your boy over to watch this shit. Because these men, there must be money going around here. All right, so we got him marrying him impregnating an older woman, then getting married to another woman who's a black woman. Like, make this make sense. How ecclesiastical is this? In 2009, you knock up Rachel, who has three kids by two different men. You knock her up, don't marry her. She's older, slightly by 4 years. Then the next year, you marry a black woman. That's what type of responsibility and family is that? What type of family is this? Is this the ecclesiastical? Is that an ecclesiastical family? Like, man almighty. Oh my gosh. Let's continue, man. Let's continue this shit.
Marriage court filings to prove this. So it looks like Andrew was into the swirl, y'all. Okay, he loved him some chocolate. So they were married in 2010. 2010, on June the 4th, Andrew's parents filed for guardianship of the first daughter that Rachel had with.
No, you're not saying that Andrew's parents filed for guardianship of Andrew's kid from Rachel? So at this point, Rachel has two custody battles going on at the exact same time, right? Remember, the Brian is trying to get his son out of Rachel's hands because he thinks his son is in danger. And it turns out he was correct. And at the same time, Andrew's parents are trying to take Andrew's kid from Rachel. This is Andrew's story. I'm sorry, I'm really emotional about this because I just hate when people start their sentences with, you know what the problem in the black community is? I just can't stand that. I can't stand it.
Andrew, ain't that some stuff? Oh my goodness. So here's the deal. This is what I'm getting. By the way, what I'm about to say, I'm just guessing here.
What is this?
I'm just guessing. I'm thinking while Andrew was married to Tareka, he wanted to raise the child himself.
To get this straight, just so y'all can keep track, because a lot of people can't keep track. This is why he kept saying, I don't understand. He knocked up his current wife, married another woman, but apparently he wanted custody of the kid he knocked her up with. He wanted to raise her in the home of the new wife.
He tried to take his kid from Rachel, the one that he's married to now. He tried to take his own kid from Rachel through his parents. So you thought that she wasn't a good enough mom to the point where you would try to take your kid from her, but now you're married to her.
Wife. He wanted to raise her, so he wanted to take custody away from his current wife and keep her with the new wife. Now, that is and he didn't file, it was his parents. His parents filed, which is interesting amongst itself. So why are the parents filing on the behalf? taking away the guardianship of his current wife.
Right? Why would his parent? Sorry.
But
I'm
now,
sorry.
but they were going to live with the former wife, who was, that's confusing as fuck. All right, but let's continue here.
Did not find Rachel to be a fit mother, so he had his parents do their dirty work. I will show you the court case. Trust me, I got the receipts, honey. So he wanted his first daughter because the second daughter wasn't born yet, and because the deputy sheriff would come over to where Rachel was living and could not serve her, this is the reason why the case got basically, I think it's got discharged. Let me read this for you for a second. So on June the 4th, Andrew's parents filed for guardianship of SW. That's the fourth child. Okay, that's the third daughter, but the fourth child. The legal notices that were sent to Rachel, not Andrew, because he was married to Tareka, who dodged being served. She was hiding. Every time the deputy sheriff would show up, she would go hide somewhere and tell people, I'm not here. Since the deputy sheriff couldn't serve her the court papers, the case was discharged. Now, in 2012, during the month of February, Rachel gave birth out of wedlock again to the fifth child.
Okay, hold up. I know I might have got the previous thing wrong because, again, I don't understand. You sound incoherent. Let me get this straight. So come on, man. Wow. What the hell? Oh, my God. No way. Yeah, I think I'm going to stay a free agent.
Yeah, bruh. This is crazy. He wants us to marry virgins and become ecclesiastical, but every single one of his wife's kids and his are all out of wedlock.
I'll stay a free agent.
Every single one, except, every single one.
So you knocked up Rachel. Next year, married Taraka. Then, while still married to Taraka, you knocked up Rachel.
Again. Think about it. But the problem in the black community, though, Trip. But the problem in the black community. Right. But he knocked up Rachel, married a black woman, cheated on her, knocked up Rachel again, and then divorced a black woman. But he's telling us about the problems in the black community. Is this your gang? Huh? But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community. Is this your gang? Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. This is really bad, Andrew. I don't understand how any religious people follow you when this is your background. Number one, and nobody who's not religious should like you at all. This is terrible.
That has the initials BW. So that's the fourth daughter, but the fifth child. During the month of December, guess what? Now, I can't find the divorce papers because I don't know what state that Andrew and Taraka got divorced in. So I don't know if they got divorced in later in 2010 or in 2011. I'm not sure. But Andrew was able to go over there and creep up with Rachel to get her pregnant again. And that's when she had the fifth baby. And then, because she had her fifth baby, her fourth daughter, February, you need to remember these dates, ladies and gentlemen, February 2012. Well, guess what? It wasn't until later on that year that they got married. So she had.
Oh, my God.
He knocked her up twice and then married this terrible person. All right, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
So both kids were out of wedlock. Both kids were before you were married.
Don't tell a lie about me. I won't tell the truth about you. All right? Don't tell a lie on me. I won't tell the truth about you. Don't tell a lie on me.
I don't even know what to say, bro.
Yeah, it's not good, man. It's not good. It is not good.
I can't.
Hey, somebody please start working on what we're gonna watch next because I can already feel my soul being drained from this.
Even, man. Like my stomach is turning at this point.
Yeah, this is.
I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for Rachel. I feel bad for the men.
It's his fault. This is all 100% Andrew's fault. 100%. Whatever happens in his life, he deserves it. Like look at after all this, he still married her.
To really be caught up in the middle of this, I got caught up in the middle of this too. This is why I have to be more careful and vet who I'm pitted against.
You see?
I have to be more careful who I associate with.
Right, because then you might be furry adjacent. I mean, my bad.
I have to be more careful because you try to take people seriously and try to take these scenarios seriously. You try to do as much vetting as you can, but you try to be like, I'm not going to go and attack the guy. So I wasn't on the attack, but I was like, I could smell bullshit.
Right.
And this is bullshit, man. This is not an evangelistic, ecclesiastical, Christian, any damn thing, man. This is not. It's not represent that.
Nah.
And unfortunately, men have been now sold this, and they maybe go over there to the church, but this is what he's got in his background. This is incredible. This is incredible.
To be on such a
And we
high,
all are human.
to be on such a high horse, this is incredible. I'm just saying, if he was a regular guy, then this is normal. Listen, this happens to the best of us, right? We all meet a woman who maybe is not traditional. We've been through some stuff. She's done some bad stuff. We come together, we make it work, all right? There's no problem with that. But you cannot do that and then start talking down on entire communities about how they got too many divorces or they got too many babies out of wedlock. All of your kids are out of wedlock. All of them. And the rest of them ain't even yours. I need to stop yelling. And the rest of them are not yours, all right?
They make mistakes, but geez.
Yeah, think about it. I'm furry adjacent now because I don't do a good enough research on the people that I debate.
Jesus. You tried to attack me and call me all kind of names and still calling me names.
Right.
I'm more traditional than him, for real.
Facts. CGA's lifestyle is more traditional than his. Andrew, you are...
Had her baby out of wedlock February 2012. They didn't get married until December 2012. Either the 27th or the 26th, I'm not so sure. And remember, I want you guys to understand, because Andrew said he was raising Brian's son at the age of 3. No, he wasn't. Brian.
So Tree goes into this, which to me, I'll sum it up from here. So Tree goes into really an issue that doesn't kid.
I don't care about this.
All right, Tree is saying no. You didn't know that kid. The kid was in the custody of Brian, the father, the biological father. And by the time...
Right, so we're talking about the kid that passed away now, right? Andrew was in the kid's life from the time he was 7 to 10. And I guess Andrew tries to pretend like he raised the kid and that, like I said, like CGA said, I don't really care about that part.
You married Rachel, you already gave her 2 kids before the marriage, and then the kid would have been 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that's basically what she's saying here, and that's unimportant to me. That could be an important thing for you because he's using his tragedy, the young kid's tragedy, to get sympathy for him. All right, so that part I don't care about, but the bottom part, again, it gets a little bit worse, is that the son obviously lost his life, but I guess the story goes, let me see if I can get the story.
I don't actually even want to hear the story. Yeah, I don't want to hear the story. The bottom line... That's disgusting people, man. Some of you guys really are disgusting. Like I said, and it's not the fact that bad stuff happens to you. Bad stuff happens to all of us. But you don't then come down on high and try to talk about us, all right? Like I said, Rachel was going through a custody battle with her first husband for 6 years. He filed a child protective order, said that the child was unsafe, said that his child was in danger. At the same time, Andrew's parents, or Andrew himself, also tried to get his child from Rachel because he thought his child was in danger. He thought that his child wasn't safe over there. And it turns out they were right. And Brian's son, the one that Rachel was keeping him away from, saying that he abused his son, passes away at 10 years old. Andrew, how do you have the nerve to be in front of public, bro? How is Rachel writing books? What book is this woman writing? What book are you writing? Who is...
wedding pictures
Jesus.
to Ralph as if this proves anything. Let me tell you something. As you can see through the timeline, Rachel and Andrew got married in 2012 during the month of December. You see these pictures right here that basically we censored? Guess what? JJ was 7 years old. Brian's son was 7 years.
All right, so I guess they're trying to call him out for this. This is unimportant to me, but apparently what happens then is, so I guess Andrew's saying he raised a kid from 3. They're saying
Not 3, okay? And this is the reason why I said that Rachel is a bad mother. Check out this paragraph that I got from an article that was talking about the accident. He said the 2 boys who were neighbors in Ravenna played together quite.
I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this. All right. It's a tragic situation. Andrew, you're a disgusting person. Your wife is a disgusting person. I don't care what you say. The fact that you guys are out here trying to tote yourselves around like you're holier than thou when this is your background. All right, you had a baby out of wedlock, married a black woman, had another baby out of wedlock, divorced a black woman, and then got married to her. Who the hell do you think you are, dog? Who do you think you are? For real. Like you are. We need to move
part
on.
of the thing here.
Book is called Baby Karate Volume.
I'm not going to get involved in the parenting. I'm a parent. I'm not a perfect
Is that really the name of the book? I don't.
parent. And rest in peace to JJ.
Yeah, facts, man.
But-
Long live JJ, bro. Like,
knowing that they were part of a custody.
yeah. I'm like, I feel a little bit bad for the dad, Brian, but then again, it's his fault. Like I said, men are the problem. You know why? Because she cheated on her first baby father with that guy that she got married to. That's right. She had 2 daughters, and she wasn't married. And then the dude Brian slept with her while she was with the baby's father, and then they got married. And now look at what he has to do. It's your fault, dog. It's your fault. That's why I don't mess with married women or women who are in relationships. I don't do it. Because this is the type of shit that happens right here. You want to mess with a woman who's in a relationship, you're going to get the exact same thing. You're going to get the exact same thing that he got.
Custody battle, and the father was trying to be a part of the kid's life, knowing that she fought against it. I've been in that situation, knowing that when you're not in an ecclesiastical marriage.
Tripp says Andrew Wilson smoke all them cigarettes because he be high on the glass.
That you can get involved in divorce courts, even within the ecclesiastical, you still have custody battles. You don't get rid of custody battles, even if you're in an ecclesiastical marriage. But
think about it, and even with all that negative shit that his wife did to those other guys, he still marries this woman and then has the nerve to talk down to me. Never in life, man. All right, what should we talk about next, man? Like I said, I didn't want to spend too much time on that last part because that's just gonna bring my energy down, you know what I mean? But I pray peace, happiness, and blessings to everybody and their children. I pray that everybody finds women that truly love them and truly want the best for the kids and the people that they're with, you know? Because otherwise, you end up like Andrew and his wife, out here trying to talk down to us. The fucking nerve. That's crazy. Should we talk about Summer Walker validating this red pill bullshit? Let's go to that Summer Walker thing. I know. Oops. Isn't that dude's name Speedy? There it is.
Ready to your space.
Speedy, and the name of the show is 360.
I don't want to watch the whole thing.
Open up that wallet. Open it! And when you go broke, I will leave you. You don't really gotta bust it open. You really don't have to. They got all types of shit now. They got roses.
Like you can be fine without.
Yeah, like my cooking. And when you go broke, I will leave you. You don't really. Open it! And when you go broke, I will leave you. You don't really gotta bust it open. You really don't have to. They got all types of shit now. They got roses.
Like you can be fine without.
Yeah, like my coochie smell good. Like.
All right. Listen. I just want to make a point. All right, I can't even take any more of this. But if you deal with these women, you deserve everything that comes with that. All right, it's 100% your fault. You have a choice. You know why she walks around like this? Because like, oh yeah, I will leave him. You know why? Because she knows that one of you dumb sucker ass mother is gonna be right there to sip on her and give her what she wants after. That's the only reason why she does that. You know why Rachel was willing to leave her baby father? You know why Rachel left her baby father with those 2 girls? Because Brian. That's why, Brian. Think about it. It's the nigga's fault, the dude's fault. She left her first baby daddy because Brian wanted to marry a woman with 2 kids. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, especially if they're not together. But she was with the baby daddy still. And he's like, oh yeah, no, let me take. So you are validating this behavior. And then what happens, right? When she's done with Brian, going through all this custody battle, Andrew's dumbass, married to a black woman, cheats on his black woman with her. So like, think about it. So that's why she acts the way she does.
Like everything, like you don't even gotta you don't really gotta fuck with me.
You can just receive.
You can just
and not
receive and
give.
go to bed, babe. Don't make your life hard. Like let them buy stuff, but like.
But that's it.
I don't know. I just don't like them anymore. To date wise, like y'all can provide.
I love the self-awareness. that both of you
Open
show.
up. God. What?
Hey, Speedy is a fool though. He like, I love the self-awareness.
I like. Open it! I get so excited.
So you want them to spend?
Yes.
Perhaps go in debt and.
And when you go broke, I will leave you.
Oh.
Figure it out.
So you're here to just bleed them dry.
Yes.
As soon as you get everything, you're off.
Why would a man risk his life for a woman with this type of mentality?
I don't know, brother, but I can tell you right now, I had a conversation with a female friend of mine. We were talking about how men are kind of the problem a little bit, right? And she says that men are always the problem. And I said, oh, no. Men are not always the problem, all right? Men are the problem right now. This is a fact. Men are the problem right now. But you know how we got here? You know how men like me started acting the way we act, where we don't give a shit about what y'all think? This why? Because of women like this. You think she's the only one? You think Summer Walker is the only one that acts like this? No. She is very representative of much of the current women in society. And that's why certain men act the way we do.
I guess like men and your lifestyle, you said, I like it when I'm with you, but I know I ultimately want to die alone.
Yeah, because it's really giving that still. Yeah. It's like, I like want to fuck with somebody. I do, because I'm
sorry. Reality said, other than being an expert fluid catcher, what is this lady known for? That's a good question.
a lover girl, but
I think she's a singer, right? Is she a singer?
it's like, once you with somebody, I do, because I'm a lover girl, but then it's
Think about it, she's a lover girl. These are the modern day lover girls.
It's like, once you really like decenter men from your life and you really find your peace with just yourself and how peaceful your home be and just how peaceful everything be, then it just start to get like, do you really want a nigga? So then it'd be like, dying alone don't sound too bad.
Do you think that will be what happens in the life of Summer Walker?
It could be.
Trip said baby look like an alien.
But as long as I'm at peace, then it's cool. Cause it's like everybody I know that got a nigga is like calling me, girl, he cheated, girl, he whooped my ass, girl, he gave me an STD,
right.
Girl, it's this and that bitch following that page, oh my God, his baby mama stalking me. Like,
yeah, but they like that. That's why they're in those relationships. I'm not saying they should do it, but that's why they like that shit. I mean, that's why they're in those relationships, because they want some drama in their life, all right? Leave them alone.
Like the shit that I hear, it's nuts. So it just gets to a point where it's like, damn, I'm bored, but I don't have nothing to complain about to none of my friends. Nothing. I have not one thing to complain about because I don't fuck with niggas.
So then it seems like what you're saying is the solution here is stop dating men.
Yeah. Like let them buy stuff, but like.
But that's it.
You don't really gotta bust it open. You really don't have to.
And that's okay if that's what you want to do. Die alone, well, die alone.
All right. Yeah, listen. You think about what she said. You don't really have to bust it open. Whose fault is that she thinks like that? Trip, whose fault is it? What's the title of this stream? Who is to blame, Trip? Who is to blame? Why does she think that's okay? Yeah, I just use men for money. That's it. F it. Why does she think that's okay? You know why? Because there's dudes out there that are all right with that. They have no self-worth. They have no self-worth. This is the same lady that was running around with Little Meech a few weeks ago. Think about it. A few weeks ago, she was dating Little Meech, and now oh my God. Y'all are sick. Thank you, right? Exactly. It's men's fault. Who is the problem? Listen, like I said, the problem is men today. I figured it out. It's men like Andrew Wilson. All right, these dumb N-words. Sorry, I don't. That was my first time even hearing that clip, because every time I hear the clip come on, I just automatically get off. Now, I don't want to. By the way, everybody go follow my Clips channel, all right? All right, that's where I'm posting a lot of the shorter versions of these. Take a quick little intermission to look at this last clip that I posted. I thought this was pretty funny. Shout out me, I've been putting in work, as you can see. See Real Offender Clips. You know what I mean? Go check your boy out. Let's see what we got here. Quick little commercial.
Wait, hold on. You gotta tell me the tea. Tell me the tea, because Saeed got.
Come on, Saeed. Tell me the tea, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, homeboy. Let me get that tea, man.
Hey, yo, cut the cameras. Cut the camera.
Hey, yo, cut the camera, man. Hey, cut the camera. Like, Bernie Mac? Am I getting my Bernie Mac? I'd have been like, bro, get Antoine Dotson the hell off me. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Oh, no. I don't think he wants to. Yeah, stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there.
This is too much. Am I getting danced on by Zoe? I need you. You pull your pants down first. Show me that you're a woman, and then we can start talking, all right? I'm not saying that because he was cool with it right here, that he should have been getting by both of those girls. All I'm saying is he should have verified whether or not they were actually girls. For all of us, we still don't know. Now the world may never know. We might never ever get to find out.
So what if he says, I feel like you did something wrong?
No, so the whole Saeed thing, no one essay Saeed.
So the whole Saeed thing, ain't nobody saying nobody over here, cuz. We ain't saying nothing. I don't know what you talking about here. I'd have been like, listen, Nina, I know you talk like you have a black, but you can't get mine, all right? Why are you copying black people, Nina? That's all I want to know. I just wish that everybody around it would stop making it more of a huge deal, because that's actually negatively impacting him. He said he actually dealt with this in his past life, actual mental health issues. So everybody making it a big deal, you're not doing anything but hurting him. You can't tell him how to feel about it, though. We all have mental health issues. You know how we deal with these mental health issues? We make jokes. That's what you do. You laugh. You laugh at people that are trying to cause you harm. You cause them harm with your jokes. Hey, Trip said, but if she pull it down and it's a pipe down there, then that's even worse. Right, but at least you know. That's why I think the dude Saeed has mental health issues, because he doesn't know if he became a same-sex lover or not. He's like, I still don't know. Were those men or not? Gonna do whatever they wanted to do to you, then you say whatever you want to say to them. I promise you, you will jump right out of a mental health crisis just by saying what you really want to somebody. For real. Be like, hey, John, you said Zoe look good? Nah, stop playing ball, bro. Yo, I look good. Somebody said I look good. Who said I look good? You like me? Well, get over here then, cuz. Well, get over here then. Yeah. No, we together, Neil. Let's get to Zoe, the enforcer, Spencer, and Nina Lane. Did anybody hear about this? Everybody seems to be in a tizzy because this young man got and while he did get I think everybody is certainly blowing this out of proportion. I want to deal with this delicately because the young man said he has emotional trauma from this. All right. Yeah, go follow me on the Clips channel, all right? I work really hard on that, all right?
When he was...
All right, all right, so this next clip, courtesy of The Arena, is called The Best Ball Grabber of All Time. I think that's the name. Hold on, let me see, what did I write down? Yeah, best ball grabber of all time, all right? Shout out Russell Wilson, by the way, because Russell Wilson just recently became, I want to say he's top 5 in assists of all time in point guards. He's top 5 in points, all time in point guards, I think. And now he's number 1 in rebounds of all time in point guards. All right, I just want to give him some love real quick.
Wrap up this show for the day and for the weekend. Shout out to you guys. 2 glorious days of Gills Arena presented by Underdog. Whoop, 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 whoop. We got to salute LA legend, a man known as Huss Westside. So Russell Westbrook found new life with the Kings this season. Wednesday night, the former MVP made some history. Let's take a look at the highlights if we can, please. The game was missing some star power with Steph, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond out for the Warriors, and Sabonis and Zach LaVine sideline for the Kings, but we had Russell Westbrook. Westbrook finished with 23 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists, going 9 of 13 from the field, 3 for 4 from...
16 rebounds, 10 assists. Stop playing with Russell. Oh, my God. NBA, can you please let the Kings start winning? Please stop rigging their games. I just want to see the Kings in the playoff one time, please.
Deep in 35 minutes, Westbrook's 204th career triple-double, which extends his NBA record. And he finished the game with 8,734 career rebounds, moving him past Jason Kidd for the most by a guard in NBA history. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Russell Westbrook. However you feel about him, show him his love.
Crossover.
Give Westbrook the love. Show your love. Give me some smoke. For Huss Westside. The smoke machine looking a little light, Gil. I'm just going to be honest.
West, y'all.
West.
Facts.
So after the game, Russ took the time to give himself a little bit of praise.
Humbly speaking, I'm the best rebounding guard ever. So, when the ball come across the rim, I'm gonna get it.
Humbly speaking.
Greatest rebounding point guard ever. I'm curious who, when you feel like you claimed that title, and who in history you feel like is like kind of up there with you.
When do I feel like I claim it? Yeah. I don't know what does the stats say.
Yeah, today, nigga. What you mean? I claimed it today.
You're number one. Oh. When do I feel like I claim it? Yeah. I don't know what does the stats say.
I don't know.
You're number one. Honestly, I didn't even know that I was.
Shut up.
It was
Stop
tonight.
lying.
I need to get that game ball. Somebody get it for me.
Stop
Okay, cool. I
lying.
need that.
Westbrook.
Too late now.
Westbrook showed him the O face. So Westbrook started 4 games for the Kings this season, averaging 19 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, with 53, 50, 89 shooting splits in those starts. Unfortunately, Kings are 1-3 in that span, 3-5 this season. But that is neither here nor there, ladies and gentlemen. Russell Westbrook.
I don't even know why you bring it up.
Yeah, come on. Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up, man. Don't bring that up.
You've been coming at me a lot lately.
Because some things don't need.
What are you going to do about
Yeah, man, we're having another rough season, all right? Leave us alone in Sacramento, all right?
it?
I mean,
What the fuck are you going to do about it? I'm waiting. He gonna be quiet and see your ass next Wednesday. I'm going to sit here very quietly, be a good house Negro, be a good house Negro. You're supposed to know motherfuckers, man. And wait for the direct deposit to hit the account whenever that may be. I know who your daddy is now, nigga. Your daddy's not approving of this shit. We're going to go to the car and get our other gun. Marcus is like, fight back, Joe. We could go get our other gun, but Gil has more guns, so.
No, I don't.
No guns.
I'm a felon.
This is Raymond.
I'm not allowed to have no
You're a
weapon.
felon?
Hey, we got like 30 minutes left, so if there's anything that I need to look at before we get out of here, let me know right now, all right? And we can look at it real quick.
When I write to my PO, do you have weapons? No.
Westbrook. You got to check the felony?
Westbrook.
Okay, back to Westbrook. Is Westbrook?
I always put no. I don't identify as that.
Shout out to the great state of California. Is Westbrook proving he can still play at a high level in the league?
Duh.
Man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. I think this coming into this year when he didn't get picked up by a team, he had a lot of chip on his shoulder. He's playing himself into another contract, if you ask me.
Imagine that. Somebody who's been the MVP twice, averaged a triple-double twice, 3 times. I want to say he has the most triple-doubles of all time in NBA history. He's the leading rebounding point guard of all time, top 5 in assists, top 5 in points, no contract.
I'm happy for him. Man. Just keep going. Keep going, bro. No matter what anybody says about you.
For real, keep grabbing them balls, boy. The way he says he's number one at grabbing balls.
The best ball grabber.
The best ball grabber. West Hollywood, Russ, baby.
Not a nickname I've ever heard for what?
He's number one at grabbing balls, baby.
He said getting rebounding.
That's the same thing. You got to grab the ball.
Yeah.
He said, but he didn't.
Yeah.
You changed.
He said, ask him about me.
Nick, stop.
He said, but you changed.
He said, ask him about me. I grab that ball. I've been grabbing balls since I started.
Hey, God damn it.
One more time. I'm sorry.
Grabbing balls, baby.
One more time.
Not a nickname I've ever heard for what?
He's number one at grabbing balls.
But
he said getting rebounding.
That's the same thing. You got to grab the ball.
Yeah.
He said, but he didn't.
Yeah.
You changed.
He said, ask him about me. I grab that ball. I've been grabbing balls since I started.
Hey, God damn it. God damn it. God damn it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying not to laugh, Nick. I'm trying not to laugh.
He was trying to be shit. Fuck, Nick.
Now we know why he homeless.
I like being homeless. I ain't homeless.
That's why I asked the chat if anybody had any rooms available.
Hell yeah, man, shit. Hey, can I use your iron? I got some places to go after. This shit's kind of wrinkled. I just need the iron. I got a little
brought 2 pair of pants.
Because I got a hoodie, I got white beaters in the car. I don't really need too much.
But you need an iron.
Too much. She doesn't need to see me.
So quickly before we take off shot, we talked in the arena before about where Westbrook ranks in the GOAT PG debate. So before the season started, you offered your thoughts on the app formerly known as Twitter, now known as X.
All right, we can move on from that. I just wanted to give Westbrook his props. You know what I mean? Being the best ball grabber of all time. What video did I want to watch? Oh, did you guys see this? I don't know if I saw this. This is why the NBA.
Myself.
This is why the NBA hates Kyrie so much.
My family. Well, I'm appreciative to be here amongst all of my family at this point. Thank you. Yeah, this is. I will not necessarily keep this brief, but I will keep it as short as I can for just telling you guys how appreciative I am to be here. And there was a certain point in my life where I had come almost at a crossroads with my dad, my sister, my friends, my
Right. Shout out this brother right here. Shout out this brother right here, Samuel C. I like this brother. I just followed him on TikTok because I didn't realize that he was putting his stuff on TikTok initially, but he has some good info. I've reacted to him a few times. Everybody go check him out.
Digging through the crates of receipts, and let's talk about what I found. So right here it says, this is a book, Researchers Philosophical Inquiry, blah, 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 right? Came out in the 1800s, early 18, I think it's like 1829, something like that, okay? It says, hey, the tradition given by the Natchez of Duprats would be a voyager that came to America, and he had a voyage in the history of Louisiana. That's the name of his voyage or his book, History of Louisiana by Duprats. But okay, relate that their ancient enemies by whom they had been compelled to immigrate to Louisiana lived in a great number of large and small villages which were built of stone, in which there were houses large enough to lodge a whole village. Their temples were built with great labor and art, and they made beautiful works of all kinds of materials. So you got to think about this. This is Louisiana. Now to you think this is Louisiana. Well, it is today, but just in 1757, this was Louisiana. Hard to read, right? Let me help you. That's Virginia and Carolina going that way. Florida would be that way. This is the Gulf of Mexico. Louisiana is what you think this area is right here. But as you can see, it says Louisiana, which is all it is. Okay, parts of Texas, parts of this, parts of that. Now, Florida really used to be a lot of that, but it just depends on the years. But this was one point a Louisiana area. And here they have saying that the ancient people built houses with stone large enough to lodge a whole village. Now, what structures in America are built out of stone that we know of today that can be large enough to house an entire village? Like an apartment complex, an ancient apartment complex built of stone. Now, I could speculate for you, but I could also show you another book of the history of the conquest of Mexico down there in the 1700s. Okay, now they went to Mexico and look at the buildings that they saw. Let's get a little closer. These are the stone building structures. Now, these are Indians in every single one of these windows, all along here, all along there, all along them windows. Getting a little bit closer there, look how they drew the detail in the here, large enough to house a whole village, stone structures. And when you get in really, really, really close, it looks like a cartoon from some of, today's time. Melanated folks. in there inside the building. And when we jump back out, so now you can get a good look at the steeples, look at all that, right? Look at the design, all right? Now that was in Mexico. I don't know what happened to those buildings. They might still be around. What stone building structures are around in Louisiana or any of that large, vast area of Louisiana that could house whole villages? Well, I would say there's an awful lot of stone structured buildings that are kind of unexplained out there all over that area that were built maybe like in 1902 to 1903, 2 to 1 year time spans, that a ginormous amount of Roman structures.
Exactly, right? Oh, we don't know who built them. I don't know. They were just here. Yeah, no, it only took us 2 years. Okay.
Just popped up by YT folks out of nowhere, and then they went to making boxes. Modern things, right? One would say these were large enough to house a village. Wouldn't you say? Look at the steeples. I remember seeing that in Mexico, didn't I? Large enough to hold villages. Now you'll say, hey, Sam, stop all that goddamn speculation, right? Well, I would say, another account of a person says, hey, the habitation of the cacique, which would be the chief, the king, the man with all the bread, the man that everybody looks up to, right? Built upon the mound. So the habitations of the caciques were built upon the mound, was larger and more commodious than the huts of the people, but not otherwise materially different in construction. Now that's talking about some huts or whatever, but okay. They say the Portuguese gentleman, though, who accompanied Soto, describes the houses of the chiefs in certain parts of the present state of Alabama to have had porticos to their doors. Porticos. Well, these are porticos. When you Google porticos are the porch-like structure with columns that you see. Now, that's why I said, I know they said huts, right? But what kind of hut has portico?
Right, what kind of hut? That makes...
Why would they explain porticos? And why is America full of porticos, which are the precursor to porches, which are mostly an American thing? Well, that's another thing that has porticos. Plantations. Lots of plantations. They all seem to have column-like porch structures, right? All over the South. All over your so-called Louisiana area. And the present-day Alabama area, which would be around right here, as they're talking about in that particular receipt. The other ones just said Louisiana. That could be anywhere around y'all. I mean, so I don't know. What other stone structures could they have saw that were large enough to house an entire village? And where did they go? I mean, you could say they destroyed them. So they came, destroyed all the stone buildings, destroyed all the old world buildings after they built them up, then built up some new state capitals. Boy, they were some building people without a whole lot of construction, without cars like that, and trucks and cranes and power tools and leveling equipment and lasers and...
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that they did have that.
Anyway, I'm gonna let you just believe what you want to believe. I'm just throwing it out there to you. If it says it in these books and these voyagers are saying, hey, I see these things. I see stone structures large enough to house buildings. Or he says that the Indian told them that the ancient people built stone structures large enough to house entire villages. And then also in the Book of Mexico, the Conquest of Mexico, they got somebody who drew stone structures large enough to house entire villages. Now, you may think that we shouldn't have these Roman-looking like buildings. We're not no Romans, right? Well, in that same 1700 time, the Germans were painting Americans as melanated, woolly-haired people that look like this. Or some that look like this guy with a red cotton mantle over one shoulder like a toga, Roman-like. And it says America right there. Here's another one. She has a blue cotton mantle draped over one shoulder, toga-like, with her feathers and all that. Or even on this map of America, I think this is like 1700-ish or whatever, where they got these people up here. Kind of toga style. Kinda. You know? So, hey, I'm just showing you the receipts. I'm explaining them too, but I'm showing them to you. So, believe what you will, but who else built that shit? So I'm cruising through, organizing all of my receipts for some future projects.
My bad.
And one thing I'm noticing is
My bad.
things that I didn't notice before on a lot of these receipts. So this is talking about Wale, refugees. Now notice the word refugees. So this is Tolomato Village, kind of St. Augustine on the east coast of Florida, okay? Way north. But this is in 1737. They're talking about Wale refugees coming from the north and establishing this place. And they were fleeing the attacks on their mission village in South Georgia. Now, what they want you to believe is the only people that were over here at that time in Florida were a bunch of Spanish-looking people or these older Spanish-looking people, such as this, Spanish-looking people or Spaniards, and Indians, these people. They would draw themselves like this, but they never have looked like that. As far as that darker hue color they try to throw in there on the drawings. Because they have to do that in the old drawings because typically old literature in almost all cases describes the people of a dark complexion. But of course we see what they are today. Now that brings me to my point. If the only people here were Spaniards and Indians, and then they said also, they try to toss in every once in a while that these people came in too during that time, but nah, most of the ones that came on a lot of those Spanish expeditions came from North Africa, the part of Africa just right below Spain, because that's a typical area they would go to towards the equator before they headed west. When these folks, in many cases, they didn't bring a whole lot of them. And in many cases, they weren't slaves. That's a whole nother story. But I found this in my receipts. Let me get in a little bit closer. Right here, you see Mission Santa Catalina de Wale. So we're in a Wale area. And what I want you to notice is there's mounds everywhere, right? Mounds. I also want to show you that a lot of books talk about in this same era, Espiritu Santo Bay, which is like somewhere in Florida, where these Indians were living on mounds and had made mounds. The house of the cacique was near the shore on a very high mound formed by hand for defense, okay? That's one reference. In the invasion of the territory of Alabama from Hernando de Soto, it says, in many towns, the chiefs lived upon high artificial mounds, generally erected in the bottom lands. The top of these mounds contained from 10 to 20 houses occupied by the chiefs. So think about the top having 10 to 20 houses at the top of the mound. That's a large mound. Why does this matter? Well, they said the only two people over here around that time were pretty much Indians and so-called Spaniards. Now, nobody is a paleface. Everybody's a paleface, so why would they be calling them paleface too? Whatever. That's why they do the propaganda with painting them like this. And then they'll say, well, they bred it all out of us. Please. So I want to show you how Wale Indians and other people were some of the people who were here when DeSoto got here, and they were building mounds. And the type of Indians they show you say, hey, and admit, hey, we're not the one that built those mounds. Let me show you.
When confronted with the question of who built these earthen structures, later inhabitants of North America didn't accept that these finds were the work of ancestral Indians. The finds indicated a more sophisticated culture had once thrived there. Not only did the current lifestyle of the Indians seem unrelated, but the Indians themselves, when asked who was responsible for the mounds, didn't have an answer. Anxious for a solution, Americans at the time came up with other explanations.
The earliest interpretations of the people who built the mounds was that they couldn't have been Native Americans. They had to have been constructed by someone coming in from somewhere else, whether they were lost Welsh tribes or lost children of Israel or Maya from South America or something like that. But in fact, they do appear to be, and there's no evidence to suggest that they're not, purely indigenous. The people who were living here at the time constructed them.
The people who were living here at the time constructed them. Well, who were living there at the time? Let's see what another person says about a similar area, because DeSoto went through Florida, then he went through Alabama and other areas. What did DeSoto see?
The Indian groups that the DeSoto expedition encountered were a well-organized society. They had a ruling class. They built mounds for their leaders. They had an extensive trade network over the entire southeast, probably much over the eastern U.S. They were healthy people. And we've also discovered that after these Spanish expeditions of the 16th century passed through, the result of that, as far as the Indian populations were concerned, was a very dramatic change. We think primarily because of those Spanish expeditions. The changes that occurred involved a breakdown of that ruling class. They stopped building mounds. Their ceremonial centers declined.
Well. So the people who were here still were building mounds. In Florida, there's lots of mounds. In books on Florida.
All right, last one. I remember one more that I want to watch, all right? And then we're going to wind down. I'm getting out of here, but we have to look at this. We just have to look at this. We just have to. I'm sorry. This is a good one. Oh, yeah. This video is called Crazy How the Mississippi Legislature Went From Mostly Black to All White in No Time.
Hope I ain't overloading you, but this is Mississippi in 1874. And at first glance, you would think that looks like a lot of YTs, huh? Now, this is different. This is the state of Louisiana, right? Right next to Mississippi. But around the same time, this is 1868. The other one's like 1871, like 3 years later. But you have nothing but black faces up in here, right? This is called the General.
Do you understand this?
The distinguished members of the convention and assembly. So it may not be the full legislator, but
right. These are the distinguished members of the assembly legislature in Louisiana in 1860. Every single person is black. Every single one.
Look at this. But let's go back to the other one here in Mississippi, because in 1874 to 1875, you would think at first glance these were YTs, but let's move in closer. Starting up at the top left-hand corner, as we get in close, now you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 melanated faces, 7 YTs, right? YTs, right? YTs, okay.
This is the Alabama legislature.
They got some. Let's go down. This section is full of quite a few YTs as well, right? As you can see here. So quite a bit on this left side with some melanated ones over here. Pop on over to the right-hand side, though. You got nothing almost but melanation going on. Melanin, you know what I'm saying? Right here. Now him, and some mulatto-looking folks. Mulattoes, possibly, right? In between some of these, right? Mulatto. He looked like that nigga Jadina, that singer-rapper dude. Mulattoes, or regular black people. Mulattoes, regular blacks. Moving over a little bit further to the right, all of these are melanated faces, just about. And some mulattoes, right?
Right.
I could be calling those out. I'm going off of a lookership, right? And as we go a little bit above these guys, you still got some melanated faces with some
all
possible mulattoes up in
right.
here. Melanated.
Look, and as you get up here, they look Mexican. Look at it. They look Mexican, which is just mixed. You see, it starts off dark, slowly but surely you see it get lighter and lighter and lighter. You got Mexicans, then you got up here, they look completely white. What do you know?
Look at that. You got a Spaniard up in there. You know what I mean? But okay. Spanish. But you got some melanated. And then the YTs come in. But even over to the further left, you have some melanated folks right here. So at first glance, you wouldn't think that could be a mulatto. And it's almost like you get to see it. Like I said, at first glance, you wouldn't think that most of this whole area is mostly melanated folks. And then you have some over here too. So almost more than half of this Mississippi legislature in 1874, just 9 years after the end of slavery, you have all of these people who have been not only put into position to be voted into office, but actually voted into office. Because around this time, the population was split 50-50 from the settlers coming in. It was around like 300-something thousand of them whiteys and 300-something thousand black folks.
I said, think about it. In 1870, the population was all black. Drop the link to Shawty page with the info on Andrew. Oh, I got you. I actually hadn't found that yet, but I'll drop it for you. But think about it. In 1870, the legislature in Alabama was 100% black, right? But right before that, they were all slaves.
Now, one thing you also notice is the mulattoes. And it's like this slow takeover. So imagine what I showed you with this in Louisiana. Imagine if this is what the assembly looked like. And then some of y'all fools continuously decide to want to keep mixing in with the YTs, like the YTs purposely try to do. I have tons of receipts of newspapers where they were saying that they wanted to mix intermarriages with the Indians. It says here, this is 1792. It has been suggested that the best method to facilitate the civilization of the Indians and attach them to the United States would be to encourage the intermarriage of YTs with them. Okay? And they did that for many years. That's 1888, intermarriages with Indians. That's over 100 years, and I got some from the 1900s. So what I was getting to is what you see is a gradual takeover of YT settlers settling in the area, intermingling and intermarrying on purpose with Indians, slowly bringing the mulattoes in place while also having themselves in place, making themselves likely the majority over time because they don't put a bunch of mulattoes in there to act like they're the black ones, right? The main full blacks, and then they put in themselves until over time you start to diminish out as many of these melanated folks as possible.
Trip said, why can you say white? Why can't you say white and only say YT? It's because TikTok. He posted these videos on TikTok, and TikTok don't like you saying the words black and white. So I'd be saying dark and light, you know what I mean? But that's why he keeps saying YT.
I'm sure there's a lot more to the story.
That's the link to the video of Just Tree, the girl that exposed Rachel and Andrew Wilson. That's the link to the video right there, if you want to watch the whole thing.
A lot more to how this became an all-white thing. Because after this, it goes from this to this, and just by the 1920s. Let's zoom in on this one, because remember, at first glance, it might just look like YTs. Here's one corner.
Think about it, from 1870 to 1920, they had completely weeded out all of the black people from the legislature.
Okay, none here. All right, a little bit further down, and I don't see anything but snowflakes. Coming over here. Hold up. We got one right there. All right, somebody done voted somebody in there. Possible mulatto. And over here, possible mulatto. So yeah. The takeover was pretty gradual, but pretty quick. And you get to see through one state what one thing may have looked like, then to another, which at first glance seemed like it had a lot of YTs, but mostly more than half of this is melanated folks, just about. And in less than 20 to 30 years, full takeover, because they be playing.
Shout out Samuel C, man. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Like I said, I'm gonna be on TikTok for the rest of the week, and I'm gonna be editing these clips and putting out more clips. All right, send me the stuff that we should talk about. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Shout out Trip. Shout out Reality. Shout out Gonzo. It's good to see you, my brother. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah. Keep sending me stuff, Trip. Join the Discord too. Before I get out of here, all right. This is our channel. You see the Discord right here? Boom. Join that Discord, all right? We only got 24 members. All right, come be the 25th. I love you and I appreciate